Hey, welcome back to the Métropole Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. Jai, I think, just figured it out. The thing I shouldn't say at all if I want viewership on the stream. At this moment, or in 5 minutes from now, Slay the Spire 2 will be released. Okay, do with that as you will. You're all adults, probably. Some maybe not. But just keep that in mind. Slay the Spire 2 is out now. I will still be here on the VOD. This is a really bad thing to say when you start a live stream. How's everyone doing? This is stream 1 of 2 today because Pat will be back here at 8:45. And we're going to be doing some in-paper stream. That being said, I did take this time off on the week. Maybe I should have figured this out that we're going to do a Pat stream in the evening. I planned this before I planned that part. So we're going to make the best. We're going to make the best out of it. And we're still going to stream today. We're going to stream for only like a couple hours, maybe like 2 or 3. And then we're going to like catch up on some stuff we had to do anyways, like make the damn always be running post for the Montreal districts, which is April 25th, just next week, next month, excuse me. We'll see you there. Pat is bad later. I should go to sleep now and come back later. It's so funny, the idea, Jai. We can check in with you. You can go to bed. We can wake up and we'll see you again. Good night, team. Yeah, sure, Jai. Just playing Slay the Spire tonight. How's everyone doing? Happy Thursday, Aurora. How are you doing? What happened to the crash space? Nothing happened to the crash space. Sonic, excuse me. What do you mean? We crash space every Thursday. Or sorry, wow, that's not right at all. We crash space every Sunday. It's been going really well. It's been growing. We have classically been putting up videos for the crash space like once a week, but because of, you know, obviously this, we haven't had time to do it. So we'll be back for it for sure. But we'll be back on Sunday. We'll see you there if you're a Marvel Champions fan. It's been really, really fun. Slay the Spire 2 day. Last I have work, yes. Second monitor, you know, that's good efficiency stuff. I do it too. You can do it all. It's good. 2 streams. Hey Joel, how you doing? Hey MacG, can't wait. SDS 2 is out. Did they drop it like 5 minutes early? I really should not be doing a Steam Slay the Spire 2. Leave positive review. Yeah, it looks like it's $32.99 Canadian. That is absurd for how much hours you get out of this thing. It is really, really wild that they drop a new Netrunner set this week. I also think Jeff is streaming tonight with Safer on the new podcast, kind of call-in show that they're doing. I believe it starts at 7:30, but to find out that both of them are doing some Netrunner content on a Slay the Spire 2 night is like really, really funny. Anyways, we'll definitely try this out later today, not on stream, but I have no doubt it'll be everything you want and more. Hey, Brennan, it's a good Justin. Morning from the West Coast. Good morning. Hey, Alex. This AL. Hey, good morning, Garrett. How you doing? Mac client on day 1. Let's go for real. Oh, very cool. Jeff is my favorite Slay the Spire streamer, actually. I think we'd love to hear that. I am in a Netrunner testing group, and there's a lot of Slay the Spire players and discussion in there. There regularly is internal Slay the Spire streams. People play like Ascension 20 multiple runs in a row to see how long they can go for. There's always like you post your run and show your relics and stuff like that. And I've played a bunch of Slay the Spire, but not enough to be like that. Like I've never got to Ascension 20, and it's for lack of trying, I'm going to say confidently. Maybe we can change that, but we'll figure that out. I literally could have worked from home if I wanted to, but I forgot about Slay the Spire 2 release. Worked from home. Are you only in one testing group? Yes, I am in one testing group. Some people are in more than one. That's totally cool and fine and fun. Didn't the creators play Netrunner? Yeah, the creators played a lot of Netrunner. In fact, if you're not aware, the website StimHack and StimHack Slack, I think technically still exists. But this is like a pretty old legacy Netrunner website. This is created by a bunch of people. One of the people who made this was Sly. I believe it's Sly. I think it's Sly is the name. But they are one of the people that are one of the 2 main people behind Slay the Spire. But yeah, StimHack is technically proto Slay the Spire. StimHack is really interesting. If you can go back, I don't know, did they hide their menus? But like StimHack was really good because it actually had old deck lists. It looks like did they purge content on this? Because they used to be able to go back further and further and further. Wait, StimHack, Netrunner decks. Because people used to use this like as soon as it came out. There used to be a message board that was still good. But like there was really good articles on this. It looks like, is it gone? This is from Simon Moon from 2026, 2017. Maybe if we hit the date, we'll open up something that tracks the date. No. This website was like really, really integral to a lot of people. This is Myoshu. This is Dan Dorgenio, right? From August 17th, 2015. Images not loading. But this was like the Netrunner website for a really long period of time. It's a shame if this falls down because it's really, really cool. The message board is gone. Yeah, that can't be too surprising. Nobody really used it anymore. People moved to Slack, StimHack Slack, StimSlack, and then people eventually moved to like Green Level Clearance and other places. If you post it on the StimHack forums, you officially have UNC status in the Netrunner community. I don't know if I ever have. because I'm not a big forum poster person, but I've definitely read them. Maybe I have, because I might have shared some of my first videos on Stim Slack when we started the channel like 10 years ago. Articles out. Medical stuff went well. Oh, I didn't know it was going through already. Milanomi, that's fantastic. Are you just like resting now for the next little bit? That's really good to hear. Congratulations. That's awesome. Yeah, this website was really cool. If you see some of the first posts, you'll see, yeah, it is definitely the Slay the Spire folks, which is really quite cool. Okay, images are back. I wonder if they're hosted locally or not. This did have a cool thing where they archived decks, and so you could see the winning deck at every tournament, and you could click on it and it could show you the deck list for like the first 3 or 4 years of the game, and it was a really cool way to archive this sort of stuff. I liked it a heck of a lot. StimHack was really cool. Yeah, it was cool. It was definitely very important. Kiv's top 5 picks for All That Remains. What? Okay, if you don't know Kiv, Kiv is Chris M. I think the YouTube channel is still up. Resting, good to hear. Rest up, eh? Enjoy your stream or Slay the Spire 2 or whatever it is that you enjoy while resting. So Chris M, Kiv. There were 2 like old Netrunner channels that I was daily watching. One of them was Chris M, and I would highly recommend even watching these, even if you're a newer player. Not only can you see like early Jinteki.net, which like became a thing 9 years ago, but also this is Octagon. This is where I learned to play Netrunner online. Octagon still does exist technically, but it is a platform in which you can basically upload your own card images, and people use it for like RPGs and card games and stuff like that. It's technically still supported. And it wasn't supported by FFG the same way that JNet's not supported by, well, technically it's now supported by NSG. But the short of the long is you would wait for a set to come out and then you would upload the images, and it was awesome. Kiv put out a video a day, literally 1 video a day with just gameplay. Chris M, mind you, was an East Coast Canadian. I never had the pleasure to meet Chris. And made content literally daily for years and played really well. I think as an East Coast player, did not travel out to too many events, but like this was my like evening watch when I was in college. Kiv sighting, yeah. For those who know, they know I've spent so many hours watching Chris M videos, Kiv videos. The Octagon arrows are solely missed. Yeah, this thing, like you can move your cards. You had shortcuts to run servers, like F5 ran R&D, F6 ran HQ, F7 I believe was archives. This was like the jump, and this is really interesting. Like when JNet came out, I was an Octagon curmudgeon. I'm like, nah, I just want to play this. Octagon's perfect, and obviously JNet's a lot better. But I do miss like how weirdly crunchy and granular and rough around the edges and gross and like ONR Octagon was. Yeah, the aesthetics are peak. And then it was all like with hotkeys and it all had sound effects. It was very, very charming. But this is, if you want to watch old Netrunner, like Chris does a really good job talking about what he's doing and why. I owe a lot to Chris. I've watched a lot of Chris stuff, but like seriously here, I don't know if we're going to see a video count. Yeah, 1,100 videos. Like that's more than this channel. And it was just daily videos. Unfortunately, stopped at some point. I believe, shout out to the G-Pigs. Yeah, after the G-Pigs passed, unfortunately, stuff slowed down a bit. I hope Chris is doing well. Kid was kind of like the biggest deal for me. The other shout outs to Bayokin as well, which maybe more people know about Bayokin. Came in second at Worlds, I want to say in like 2016, somewhere between 2015 and 2017. Bayokin didn't do daily content usually, but did very, very good content. Public beta is out for NRO. Yeah, the Evolution Netrunner client shares something. Yeah, I know. That's why I want to bring it up too, because I have no doubt, like, if I look at NRO, I'll be like, oh, my JNet's better. But like, a lot of times it just takes time to get used to it. Anyways, this article is apparently Chris talking about cards coming from this data pack that has 20 cards in it. A daily business show. Yeah, it turns out it's really important. Good shot, Kiv. Top 5 picks from All That Remains. Good pick already. Lady, good pick. Kiv is killing it so far. 2 for 2. Executive Bootcamp. Yeah, that's a soft 5, but that's fine. It makes it up there. And another Rex. Okay, huge miss from Kiv. Terrible miss. Embarrassing. Leela Patel as number 5 is wild. This pack seems like it was messed up. For those who don't know, these are some very, very, very good cards. Utopia Shard didn't really matter. License Acquisition didn't matter at all. But yeah, out of 20 cards, there's some absurd cards in this pack. Love Bayokin. Yeah, let's pull up Bayokin. Bayokin is really good too. Bayokin also had like a lot of PowerPoint presentations and talked a lot about theory, as much as there was also like gameplay. After Bayokin stopped doing Netrunner stuff, started doing other strategy content like Through the Ages, I think. Maybe that's not right. Maybe I'm thinking of a different YouTube channel that did Netrunner at some point. Did a lot of this card game. This is Vault of the Void, which I have a good friend who plays a lot of Vault of the Void. It's a roguelike, but played a lot of like games at very, very, very high levels, like Gloomhaven and stuff like this. Auto chess when that was a thing. But yeah, a lot of really good Netrunner content for a really, really long time. Bayokin was another one of the daily watches. Me discovering ONR through Octagon as a kid is part of why I'm here. Yeah. I was like really young, relatively young, playing on Octagon. And the cool thing is like a lot of the people that I played against on Octagon are like still people who play Netrunner to some extent. Like the testing group I'm in has a lot of people that I have played on Octagon. And because Octagon was like not approachable, it wasn't like JNet where you can just log in. Like you had to grab something, you had to grab like the data pack images, you had to upload them, you had to update them. Like it was not accessible, which obviously is not a feature. But the quirk of it was that the people playing Octagon were generally like very serious Netrunner players. They were not just like goofing around. So it was another way that I got a lot better at Netrunner very quickly, because you would like pair up against a world champion or like a top, regional winner at that time, because that's where they went to practice. It was different than JNet. It was much less casual, and I do miss a fair bit of that. At least like that era of Netrunner was like very, very cool, very important. Yeah, Bayokin also kind of the GOAT. Please shout out them Octagon sound effects. Thanos, I have them all in a file pack. Somebody shared them. I have them somewhere on my hard drive. I haven't made a good use of them, but like there was bespoke sounds for certain ice reses. Like Archer was like one of the scariest ice at the time. And there was a direct sound put in the game for when you resed an Archer, specifically this looking Archer. It was cool. Yeah, I don't know where the sound effects came from and whether they're properly licensed, but very, very cool. CCG Workshop. I don't know what that is, Dame. How's it going? It's weird having only played Netrunner after lockdown so many years after NSG took over. It's weird that there's a little blip of players after FFG license was lost. Yeah, a lot of folks came back. Some people didn't. Sometimes people just want something to naturally come to an end, and I get it. Obviously, Netrunner's doing great, but there are definitely things that are currently better on JNet than on NRO Beta, but I think I've absolutely nailed layout. Oh, very cool. I haven't tried it out yet. Bayokin was the best. Hey, Mr. Barrera, I guess you know. I guess you knew as well. Very, very cool. Yeah, I have all the Octagon sound effects cranked. If you're looking for them, hit me up. I can send them to you. I don't own them, but they're great. Ever play Cyberpunk 2020 TCG? I got some sealed packs and starter decks. Hey, Dan. Cyberpunk 2020 TCG? Like the modern Cyberpunk TCG or the Cyberpunk CCG 2020 edition? Because this is just like kind of coming out, the Cyberpunk TCG. I think you're talking about this thing. I've never heard about this. I'm not a huge TCG CCG guy in general. Generally, if a game has like precons, that's usually how I play with it. But I've actually never heard of this. It's from the 90s. I was definitely a bit too young. I guess I was born in the early 90s. So like card games that came out in the peak 95, 96, I was too young for them because I was learning how to share. But yeah, I've never actually heard of this. That's neat. Fun aesthetic. Very much of the time. Hey, Funky Man, how's it going? How's your locals been? Yeah, no, I've never heard about this. I'm assuming this is Talsorian Games. Yeah, very cool. Hope you're having a nice week off. So far, so good. Last night got pretty unwell. Something did not sit with my stomach. So it was not the most fun night. But today just ate some peanut butter toast and we're off at it. We're out of pretzels, but bravely into the coffee. How are you doing, Quesadilla? Can't believe you're streaming now, Pat. I took the day off. Like, what do you want me to do? Just play Slay the Spire 2 and just like hang out? No, I'm gonna stream a bit. Pat will be here later. And very importantly, if I'm not mistaken, at 7:30, check out. I'll correct this if I'm wrong, but Yasengrin SC will be streaming with Safer, doing a call-in podcast. I believe it starts at 7:30 tonight. So check that out first for sure. Otherwise, we'll be here at 8:45. Mind you, all of this is Eastern Standard. I have a bunch of ONR, and we will make a Kill Cube draft for local CTK. Oh, cool. Of that game. That's neat. I wonder if the cards work at all together. Maybe you'll be the yawner this evening? I doubt it. Anytime Pat yawns in stream, please make fun of him. He yawns all the time in stream, and it totally gets me. You can't help it. But if you ever see Pat yawn, please make fun of him. It's fun. We're hosting our Vantage Point launch party on Saturday. Excited to see a lot of locals and old heads come out. Oh, that's sick. That's really, really cool. I assume by this point, everyone has physical cards or access to physical cards. Playing right now, no spoilers for you good people, but I'm listening to the stream at the same time. Hey, I'll do second monitor Slay the Spire 2. Oh no, the defect. It's back. Stream is 100% going to be co-op Slay the Spire. I don't think it is. I think we actually have to play Netrunner on this one, which like, oh no. Today, we're going to be a faster stream. We're not going to be anywhere near as long as the other days. So I think we're going to do something faster. And I think we've already played some Bangoon on stream, and Bangoon or can do something. I do think there's a lot of work that has to be done to make Bangoon make sense. But I think I want to try Zwicky here. Is Zwicky good? Yeah, I think Zwicky is good. I think Weyland just got some better cards. Weyland got two pretty impactful pieces of ice in the set. Zwicky got a new transaction. In fact, 1 or 2 if you want to consider playing Caveat Emptor, which I'm not sure if you do. I think it's like 2 or 3 influence. But we have some new agendas, maybe. I'm not sure if Sacrifice Expansion Zone is the Oaktown renovation we want in every single deck. But we also have Myoshu. And I think there's a chance, like, this is the issue. There is like 3 to 4 different Zwicky decks that all have to be explored. The first Zwicky deck is the Zwicky deck that I've been playing a lot, which is just like straight fast advance rush. And so that Zwicky deck, I think, has been imbued by one single agenda, but I'm not sure how that agenda works into the agenda suite. And that's now that regulatory capture is a playable card. This card for a while was not playable because there was just not enough ways to get bad publicity seemingly in the format. It was almost entirely based off of ice. I'm not going to mention the borehole, but now we have what's it called? Vulture Fund. We have 3 more cards that we can proactively put in our deck to give ourselves bad pub, which is pretty cute. That actually matters. Of course, this is a transaction. So functionally, this is gain 7 credits and draw a card. On top of that, we have Luana Kampush, and Luana Kampush is actually really good. One of the cards you did end up playing in at least the Zwicky decks I played is that you played 1 or 2 Antills, and Antill was okay, but Luana Kampush might be slightly better because you can res her, get some card draw and some money, and then on the turn that you need to score the regulatory capture, you can just trash her. And that slows down the runner because they lose the bad publicity that you're taking while doing all this sort of stuff. Now, you also can go play the ice, and the ice got a lot better. Like, Valenchow is so much better with the bad publicity change, so we can just unironically play Valenchow, we can unironically play Trebuchet, and then all these cards should be at least enough ways to get enough bad publicity. That is one of the angles where we just do pure-ish fast events with regulatory capture, and that could be a deck. So that's one option. The second option is to play Modernism, and Modernism maybe is the deck that more wants to play Sacrifice Expansion Zone. That is the other option that we can pursue and just go mean and fast and quick, and then have, you know, Opal Research, Public Trail, End of Line, have some slightly scarier ice, stuff like that. That is a second one that you can build. And then the third one you can build is like the Myoshu version. And I think Myoshu might be able to fit into any of these decks. But the idea is that if you go quick into the remote server and you get money quickly and you draw cards quickly, it shouldn't be that hard. And I don't think I realized how easy it is technically to score an off-world office, gain 7 credits, and then just Myoshu out and win the game on 2 scores. Whether you're on Seamless or Slash and Burn or Holloman, there should be a lot of ways to do all these sort of things. So there's a lot of space in front of us to explore. Can I forget Shackleton? I think we will forget Shackleton. I think Shackleton only works, how's it going by the way, Impulsive, in the version that wants to actually hurt the runner. I'm not sure this is good enough as just like a tempo value piece. Like 4-me damage is a lot, but the slots are kind of tough. Like I do think the Shackleton could maybe be, what's it called? Tucana or a Malapert, and those might be comparable. So we'll find out. Now, this is a thing that I just want to say before I catch up on chat. And I think it's something that is like so particularly odd about the set. And I think it might speak to the feature of the set being like more dev based than design based, is that this set, as you might have seen on the channel, has been kind of difficult to build around. And that's because the way that we used to be like week 1, let's build some decks, let's jam all the cards in one deck and see how it works, is not working. And that's because I think the set is just so damn different than any other set we've seen for multiple reasons, right? Like say, you know, it's, I don't know if y'all played back then, but if Borealis came out, like say Parhelion came out or Midnight Sun, I guess let's look at Midnight Sun because that's where the IDs are. When this set came out, all the cards in the set were self-referential for the set, better for worse. So functionally here we got like 9 cards that Essa can play, 10 cards that Essa can play. And you just put them in a deck and you build an Essa deck. Same thing with Sable. This is why I really recommended this set Borealis cycle for newer players, because I wouldn't say the decks build themselves, but all the ideas are super self-contained. And it's totally different to Vantage Point. Like we've been trying to play Shaper Vantage Point yesterday with Stealth, and sorry that's broken between 2 pages. I guess we can just do this. Putting all these cards in the same deck is actively quite bad. Like that is the difference, is that this set is not just like, here's all the things in one idea. It's a bunch of different ideas to support the wider card pool. And even when it comes to an idea like Stealth, in which we have like multiple Stealth cards here, I would argue that the Methuselah deck might not play Touchstone and the Touchstone deck might not play Methuselah. And so we've been struggling with our ambition here is to add so many new cards. But like yesterday when we played the Wolf and Whale beta build deck, we were playing like 1 new card. And I think that's probably more what the set represents. It's a wider card pool for everyone and not just like all these Shaper cards go together, which has been really throwing us off. So I'm going to try and make sure that we don't build a deck with the sort of tenets of we're going to play as many new cards as possible, because that seems like kind of a failure, or the deck will fail if we try and do that with the set specifically. It's a really interesting feature of the set that is much less like focused on one idea, and it's a much wider spread, which if you have a wider card pool, it's good. If this adds, like, I honestly don't know what the set is going to do for starters. startup, because these ideas don't seem like they were designed with startup in mind. And like the fact that it's one icebreaker, like startup just got one icebreaker but lost an entire thing, might actually be great for startup in the long run. I don't know. I don't know enough about startup. Someone probably knows more. Let me catch up on chat. Is going to sell out, you say? Zwicky would sacrifice is something I want to build? Sacrifice? What sacrifice? Reanimation? Sacrifice? Oh, sacrifice zone expansion. Yeah, sure. Yes, I want to try it. We had our local launch yesterday. Hey, Vicetron and Ruled. New Corp stuff is mad fun. New Runner TBD. I'm in the same camp. New Runner's TBD, but I do think the New Runner stuff is spread out way more than the new Corp stuff is. Kind of antithetical to what I just said. I've had 3 people try to borehole me with Campush and Scapegoat. None of them have succeeded, but they are trying. I mean, like, play Pinhole or whatever. The store I opened recently had 11 pre-orders of Vantage Point, had a big pizza party last Monday on release night. That was so much fun. That sounds great. Yo, congrats. That's sick. I do think like stores locally in Canada, right? Like 401 Games is a big stalker. They are running out of stock. Some of that is, you know, the reprinting and the new shipping and the new printer, but like it seems not easy to get Netrunner cards, which is both a problem and also a boon. So we'll find out. I know that Corp had bad pub, but it's very funny. The only way I've tracked it on paper is to give the runner the bad pub token so they can use it for runs. Yep. Yeah, technically you're both meant to grab tokens because it is technically your bad publicity. It belongs to you. I feel like we need to rename Modernist to like nostalgiaism. I say this as someone who played it a lot back in the day, but like it's no longer modern. I mean, you can't stop me from trying. For startup, we intervened on the dev process for Elevation to make sure the core was solid, but I didn't even look at VP until the set was locked as a theory. Is that a core set is a strong foundation, which is how you end up with day 0 ban for Let Them Dream, I guess. I think the day 0 ban for Let Them Dream like makes sense, and I rather would have that, I think, than not having a card like Let the Dream, which is a very, in some ways, ambitious design. But yeah, this set is definitely differently built, which I think you're going to feel in startup. All right, so we're going to start with Zwicky. So we want to play transactions. So we're going to mash in a whole bunch of transactions to the deck to draw cards, and then we're going to decide which path to do. I think ultimately we'll try 3 different Zwicky builds today in probably 3 hours. And so let's do the first one, which is just like fast advance regulatory capture. So bad publicity is a starting point, and then our agenda suite will make sure that we can score out in like 3 scores maybe. Cool. So regulatory capture is what we're going to try today. This is a 6-2. It can go down to a 2-2 depending on how many advancements you have. Now, I don't love this card because you end up in like game states where you like triple ice both centrals and you're just waiting to draw this. We will definitely still be jamming in a remote server, so we're not going to count on that. But this is a powerful effect that in the mid to late game is really good. And unfortunately, you don't want to draw in the early game. And we do draw a lot, so I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be bad with Zwicky or good with Zwicky. We'll find out. We'll start there. I guess we should look at what else we're going to put in the agenda suite slot of the deck. I think the other ones we want to consider is Greenmail. This is just really good. Greenmail is a good ass card. It's even a bit better in Zwicky because you can, do the Greenmail thing and forfeit it and draw a card and gain 4 credits, which is a nice little surprise. It plays around lat and like that's kind of fun. But that's like probably worth something. Another cool angle that we have is like Plutus is still a must trash card in this deck, and Plutus allows you to replay your Vulture funds, which gives you 7 more credits at card draw and another bad publicity. And having another bad publicity actually really does matter. I'll be honest, more often than not, I res Plutus by just resing Plutus, not by forfeiting an agenda, by just trashing 3 cards from hand. Sometimes that helps you because it puts an an operation in archives. But yeah, Plutusing a Vulture Fund is a nice way to double down on the bad pub. It seems like a Shackleton grid. I mean, I'm hoping never to play that card, but it might be. It might be. Okay, so let's try and get some cards in here. Above the Law, again, we want to play 3/2s because we want to fast advance. I don't know if we're going to be playing too many agendas, but Slash and Burn is like a very strong fast advance piece. We need to keep our Spin Doctors on the table for that. We're at 14 agenda points. We don't have to play a 5/3. And in fact, we're not really capable of scoring a 5/3. We could do some math whether Flood the Market is worth something. Not Flood the Market, wow. Let Them Dream is worth something. There are some turns where you could like Slash and Burn a Flood the Market. No, sorry, a Let Them Dream. And then I don't think you can score anything else from hand. But Let Them Dream on the table, I don't know if it does something. I feel like I want to put Plutus and everything. It's such a fun card. It is genuinely such a fun card. Luana Kampush, I think we'll play 2, maybe 3. This is our anthill. We just get into the remote server and it just draws cards until we can score from hand and gives us a card draw. I mean, that seems fine. I do want to try this. I'm going to put 3. I don't think the deck needs 3, but generally when there's a new card that we want to try, we'll put 3 and see how it goes. Loved 1 or 2 sprint and outfit. Yeah, I think we can maybe try Cultivate, which is not exactly sprint, but in some ways it's also better than sprint. And as long as we have enough shuffle effects, it can be functionally sprint. But I think Cultivate is actually challenging the sprint slot and might be a better card for giving us more control of the game. Not 100% sure. All right, the other card I love when I'm playing Slash and Burn is I actually really like playing what's it called, off the books, because if you double slash and brand the off the books, you can grab a spin doctor, and that's just fun. This takes us to 10 agendas. We need to score out 4 of them, unfortunately. We have no green mails in this deck though, and that's going to add a whole bunch of slots. The awkward thing is like green mails are not good. 1-pointers are not good when you're only playing 2-pointers. So you could maybe play 4 3-pointers or more. I've classically also played this deck with what's it called, with Eminent Domain. That allows us to rush out ice and go faster. Now, Eminent Domain reses a card, ignoring all costs. So if bad publicity is part of the cost of resing the card, you actually have to avoid that. But what is really weird is like cards like Valenchao, the additional cost to res this, you don't get the bad pub. But I think there's a couple cards that actually give you bad pub regardless. Like I think Piranhas might be different. No, this is an additional cost. I think Grubber is different. Because Grubber's not an additional cost. It says when you res this ice, if it's protecting Essential, take a bad publicity. So in theory, you can grab a bad publicity if you want. I don't think we want to do that. But I'm not sure. I think we have to play green mail because it's just like the easy way to get 1 point. But now we're at 23 agenda points, and I do not know how to make sense of this. You generally don't want to play 21, and really does hurt you, the math suggests. So we probably play fewer off the bookses, and then we can play like maybe 1 eminent and play like 14 agendas or whatever this nonsense is. 12 agendas could be worse. With the influence in this deck, there's a lot of things you can do. I do think having ways that you can fast advance with Plutus is important. So the usual suspects are red level clearance. Okay. We'll definitely play petty caches because it's really good. We'll play hedge funds because they're really good. We'll play vulture funds because we need bad publicity. I think we want to play some amount of KPIs because it's just really good in theory. Trebuchet gives a bad pub on res. I think Trebuchet is the same text. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, that's the good one. Okay, this is the one I was looking for. Shout out to that. Yeah, this one is not an additional cost. So if you Eminent Domain and Trebuchet, you do get a bad pub. And we are going to be playing Trebuchet anyways. Let's see if we play 3 Trebuchets, 3 Valenchaos. And now our deck has 9 to 12 ways to get bad publicity, and we're hoping that's fast enough. Okay, so we want other ways to score with Plutus. I'm not the biggest fan of... Okay, there's a couple cards you can play in the slot. Firstly, with this many agendas, you can play Moonpool. It's not terrible. It also fixes archives. That's cool. Notably, Plutus does discard cards face down, but you can play Moonpool. If you play red level clearance, that also makes the Moonpool slightly better, which is kind of fun. I've been playing a lot of red level clearance. It's just a good card in general. Like clickless draw 2 is usually what you can do from this, or you can get 2 credits, gain a click, and draw 1 from Zwicky. Very, very flexible. You can play Greasing the Palm. I don't love this. We have no tag stuff, but even if you play Greasing the Palm off of Plutus, it technically fires. But you mean Plutus discards face up? Wait, does Plutus discard face up? Oh, never mind. So it doesn't work. It does discard face up. I forgot about that. I thought it discarded face down, but you reveal and trash. Okay, so you can't Moonpool them. But that's still just good text. Yeah. Reanimation. I'm not sure about this card because for this card to be good, we need to get our ice. We somehow need to figure out how to get our ice into archives. And I do not know how we get our ice into archives. I think there's a chance that we want to consider doing that because that is a very powerful effect. It's just like this seems so much more obvious in Nuvang or some way that we trash our ice. Like if we're playing expend ice, but expendable ice besides toxin is not very valuable for reanimation. But reanimation seems good if we're struggling to get more bad publicity. And folks in chat are shouting out like Toucan is also another really good card that's good if you want to get more bad publicity on your control. Let's try and fill in the rest of the slots because we actually are kind of overslotted at this point. And we even could play more transactions here, I think, if we wanted to. Peer review is also an option, but reveals cost. I hate peer review. I just think the card is hella clumsy. And I don't mean the design of it, just like playing it sucks. It's like the worst time to play peer review is with Plutus because it's when your hand is not fully full, but mostly full. But that card is just like showing your hand is one of the worst things you can do with a deck with 12 agendas in it. It's awful. I don't know where this card's going to show up. Plutus discards? Yeah, you're right. Plutus does discard, but reanimation is not a transaction. But you could res Plutus to dump your best ice and then get it up. Like maybe that actually is fun, right? Let's try 1. But you could, in theory, like reanimation. Plutus discard a toxin, reanimate the toxin. Like that seems okay. All right, what other stuff are we playing? I think we mostly have to play ice at this point, and we won't maybe have enough ice. So firstly, Afshar is really good into the bad publicity change. 2 or 3 might be a possibility. Let's start with 2 because we're going to have a slots issue. And here we have still 6 influence. One card I know that I've consistently played in Zwicky for influence has been, what's it called? Sudden Commandment, which is like surprisingly good. It's really good with red level clearance. It allows you to clicklessly draw cards and then draw more cards. I actually like this a fair bit. It allows you to like clicklessly draw deeper into your deck to go get your regulatory captures when the game is set up. So we'll find out. BTL with Myoshu and Sacrifice Zone is cracked. Yeah, I think we're going to try something like that later today in Zwicky as well. But I could see BTL doing a good job at it for sure. Hey, Duckland Bioac. I think there's a chance we don't need Bioac. It's good. We have one Eminent, so we might as well play one Bioac. I think same, we should play one Dachshund because we have enough, like, we have one Eminent and we have one copy of Reanimation. But otherwise, what do we want to play? Let's play Masquerovkas. We want 3 of them. I think we probably should cut something. 12 agendas is going to suck. Like, that's going to be a problem. Are there ice that we could be very happy to play? Yeah, actually, I think, like, let's play Sleipnir. All of this text is really good. Now, shuffling transactions back is not good for Plutus's sake. That's the one downside. I honestly think we probably should play fewer Luana Composhes because we're going to have a lot of card draw on our own. No Piranhas. I don't like Piranhas. I don't think it's worth 3 influence. I think Piranhas is so much worse than Balanchao. Balanchao is really hard to beat. Piranhas, they just have to draw cards. We're actually good at drawing cards for what it's worth. Like, we are very good at drawing cards, more than most corporations. I just don't know if this card is worth it that much. Like, 3 influence for this effect does not seem right. I think MGC, we would consider playing this if we need more bad publicity. I would do that sooner than playing this for the sake of playing it. BOX seems good with green mail. It's not bad, but like, you actually do want to keep your green mails. Like, you do need to keep them so you can win the game. Other cards to play, Flywheel's just good. Drawing a lot of cards seems nice. That's always good. And then we probably should play 1 or 2 Event Horizons. We should include hammers. I'm not convinced. It's very expensive. I don't know what the meta is not playing killers at this point. I haven't seen a lot of AI breakers. This card's not bad, but I worry that we lack like fundamental end the run stuff. What is this draw like? Should we go to 9 2 points and 2 1 points to open up another slot? 9 2 points and 2 1 points. Yeah, that would probably be for the best. And then we just play 2 green mails and hope that we draw one. Like, green mail is really good in Zwicky for a bunch of reasons, but it does help us get slots back. And off the books is not a terrible draw. Little low on barriers. I mean, I would want to play maybe one more Logjam. I think barriers right now are actually relatively okay, but if we want like one at YDL for overdraw, I don't think we really need more money in the deck, right? And like, your digital life draws after you play, which is kind of ugly. Descent's not terrible. I've played Descent in this list. I've also played Fly Swatter in this list. We're kind of weak to Botulus because we have a lot of big ice that if you Botulus a Valenchao, it's cooked. If you Botulus Trebuchet, it's slightly cooked. So I could see that. I think we have too many sentries. We could, like, technically our Trebuchets are barriers that has a soft end to run on it. I guess it doesn't actually stop a transfer, but that's not exactly the point. My guess is we probably don't play Flywheels. And we're on 5. We're on 15 ice. That's actually a lot. We might want to play 1 fewer ice. See what this draw's like. Opening hand. Okay, so this is the issues where you start with the red caps. Let's say we mulligan that. We don't need that many trebuchets. It's not so much that we want 3 trebuchets. We just need to make sure we get bad publicity that quickly. And I think the easiest way we can make sure we get bad publicity that quickly is by playing 3 trebuchets, 3 Valenchao. We'll find out through testing if we want to cut these. And mind you, I think everyone's used to resing Trebuchet for like 4 credits. That's actually a really big deal. Trebuchets are expensive, but a lot of people who have played Trebuchet are used to resing Trebuchet for 4 credits in the outfit. And I think it's going to be a bit of a culture shock where we res this for 7 and be like, where's all our money gone? So that also might be another reason to play fewer Trebuchets because this card is actually quite expensive. Say we mulligan that into this. This hand's good. That hand's actually really good. I don't want to put an Event Horizon on HQ, but we'd start with the Petty Cash, which is a fine play here. We draw Plutus. Okay. We're probably going to do Valenchao on HQ. Event Horizon technically is a remote ice, but not great on turn 1. We've already played our operation that turn, so that's fine. We draw Masquerovka. We can do Masquerovka in the remote server, or we can just score the green mail, which draws a card. I mean, this is a good start, actually. Hansei to Reanimation could be good. I don't know if we need, like, we can always play government subsidies, and like this deck might actually want to play 1 or 2 government subsidies. I don't know how many transactions we should play. Like, it's very likely the Reanimation Protocol should just be another money card. But Hansei is, you know what I would actually play? We have influence. Like, is Caveat Emptor okay when we play it to gain a credit and a card? Maybe, honestly, I don't know. What about we play this on turn 1? We gain a 5 credits on a card. Predictive seems excellent. I think if we want to play predictive, I would play Sudden Commandment. I know the predictive is flexible and it gives us the ability to play like Vulture Fund turn 1, but we don't generally want to play 2 operations in the same turn anyways. And we have Petty Cash to play Vulture. We have KPI to play Vulture. We have RLC to play Vulture. We have a lot of ways to get there. Yeah, actually, Caveat Emptor with Plutus is like kind of cool, isn't it? It is a transaction. I forgot about that. So clicklessly, we can give them -1 click. I mean, that's kind of fun. Do we need any fast events? We have lots of fast events. We have 3 Slash and Brain, 3 Plutus. If you wanted to play things like, you could also play 2 copies of Moonpool. But like, I'm not into just playing a single biotic labor or whatever it's called right now, nano management, I guess you could, but I think we have enough fast advance. Measured, I've been in the testing group. I have classically played 1 or 2 measureds in every Zwicky deck just to be like, if you can't keep up, you die. Generally, I have never played them, but if my opponent sees them, they slow down, and that is hard to quantify how good that is. I think we want to see if we can win off of speed alone. And if we can't, and we realize that this is the sort of thing you can play this deck and then think like, oh, is the runner on threat 4? Are they respecting measured? And if they're not, then you would consider adding them. I'm fully convinced that this needs to be a Shackleton. I think if we're on Shackleton, we play measured, but like, I think this is what we'd end up doing is we would do something like this. But how do we spend our influence? Like we have so much influence. I'm assuming we want to spend the influence on ice. What ice can we spend influence on that we're happy? Like Sleipnir doesn't seem terrible. It's just a good card. It's a good rush card. MIC is fine. Seamless is not bad either. But I do think we want to like, we need to play more transactions in the slot of other transactions. And this Shackleton seems like it could be a transaction. One Shackleton seems silly. Ganked, I just want that card not to exist, so I'm not gonna. I think that card should be deleted from the game, but gotta fight your own fights. What can we play for the most influence? Bite, of course. I think Bite plays the Modernism version. I do think you play the Modernism version, plays Bite for sure. I want some Octa force breakers, but it doesn't. They can go through it for 3 net damage. It's the opposite of forcing breakers. It is the antithesis to forcing 3 breakers. Hey, Preston, Samak's in my list, but don't they just take 3 damage? I feel like I'd play Tattoo Bola if we wanted to play Samak. Knowledge Seeker. That's nice. It's not a Sleipnir. Thin Mizzatini, Encel, VSA, Vertigo. Like, I don't know. Managarm. We generally don't put too much stuff in a defensive observer. Like, Seabass, how's it going? Like, we generally don't put our agendas in the server for more than a turn. Well, that's obviously what Managarm does. Myoshu, we're fast advancing maybe a bit too much for Myoshu. I think Myoshu is something we'll keep in mind when we play the deck, but I think the version of the deck where we actually play like Seamless or Holloman, that's the Myoshu version. Drafter's not bad. Drafter feels a lot like Sleipnir. Adding a transaction to our hand is not terrible though. Like Lycean, throw our money away. I honestly don't know. What are the transactions we could play? Okay, the biggest transactions we could play are Greasing. Greasing's probably fine. Greasing's probably not bad. Caveat Emptor is the same amount of influence. Like, if they float a tag, we have Greasing. Greasing's not awful. It's 2 credits on a card draw and an install. Like, that's obviously good. I'm just not a huge Greasing fan. I don't think it's worth the influence, but clearly we're struggling to spend the influence. Caveat Emptor is fun, though, and it's new. I think installing a card on a remote server and playing Caveat Emptor seems pretty good. Yeah, let's try this. We'll cut this and we'll cut 1 more card. So we might have 1 too many ice. Yeah, Caveat seems fun. Playing a Caveat off of Plutus sounds really fun too. So they have 3 clicks into 3 clicks. And this stuff needs to get pinholed pretty hard. Okay, I could maybe cut 1 KPI. Maybe. I would definitely play Caveat Emptor to gain 5 credits on turn 1. Is Hospitality a transaction? It is. It's just the double's pretty awkward, particularly in the context that you're drawing 3 cards and then you have 1 click left. Sorry, you're drawing 4 cards when you play this and you have 1 click left, right? Because you draw 2, Zwicky draws 1, and then this draws 1. Like, that's just nonsense. It's a lot of cards. I like the amount of ice we have. Yeah, KPI is fine to shuffle reg bag. I think anytime that you shuffle card back with KPI, you have like kind of failed. But yeah, it's a thing we can do. I like this ice. Maybe we just cut the toxin and say we don't need a big code gate. I'm fine with this. 14 ice seems okay. Like, there's no shot that we're not grabbing a Trebuchet or a Beowhack. Like, say this is our opening hand. Sick. Caveat Emptor draws a card. They have 1. They have a lot of clicks. We have fewer clicks. We can install a Spin Doctor. We can Maskarovka. If they res the Spin Doctor, they have to trash it. That's fine. We have 2 regular captures on turn 1 and no bad publicity. Vulture Fund, we're on 1 bad publicity. We draw Slash. Not great. No nano management. Classically, I haven't. I think you definitely could. I want to try playing more transactions, but I haven't had to play nano in a Zwicky deck to date. Grubber's pretty bad. Like, Grubber is just beaten by bad publicity. Like, you don't need breakers. If you're giving 6 bad publicity, this card doesn't do that much. Petty and RLC and Slab are only NFA options, and Plutus, yeah. Yeah. Plutus, Slash and Burn, jamming their remote server. That's usually enough. Like, I've had success with Zwicky decks that look like this. The other card you can play, of course, as I've been saying, is Sudden Commandment, which gives you more fast advance, more reach. And this card's actually better than it looks. Hey, Ren. This man called the stream grand opening and streamed at least 3 other times this week. Yeah, but look at this. We're opening it up. Let's give it a shot. Fast Zwicky. Again, we're going to learn something from this. We have to keep in mind, is Myoshu good? Is Measured good? Is Shackleton good? It's hard to test if Shackleton is good because we have no other upgrades to test the waters. Reanimation Protocol, we cut it. We wanted to have one in the deck. It just seems too cute. Like, it needs to line up exactly with the Plutus, and we have to have Big Ice in hand. And usually the Big Ice goes in front of the Plutus in the first place. That being said, it's cool they can res the Plutus and then protect it, but then how did you get the Plutus to stick in the first place? It's definitely worth trying. I don't know. I think we definitely would try it in this deck of any of the 3 that we talked about. New Corp deck. Zwicky. Wait, where's Zwicky? Oh, it's the Zwicky Group? Yeah, right. The Dead by Day hoodie makes a lot of sense here. I got a couple of these, excuse me. They're comfy. Let's go. Shackleton seems bad unless your opponent forgets and refuses to undo. I mean, the problem with Shackleton, and I don't know if people realize it, you can res it, they can decide not to use their bad publicity. Is that worth a slot? I don't know. It's definitely worth more slots. How's it going to buy dull if you're trying to hurt them? All right, it's Vic. We can do a Trebuchet turn 1 on HQ. It's not a great face check. We have the green mail. That's the 1 bad publicity. Hey, best of luck. Have fun. I think we will keep this. We'll just put the Trebuchet on HQ. We'll see what it does. Again, if we res this, we are bankrupt. So you have to keep that in mind. Oh, nice. That's better. I was going to petty cash. I'd rather throw out petty cash and have more money in turn 1. So we'll hedge fund to draw a card. We don't want to, this is the issue when you have this many transactions, like literally our hand is entirely transactions. You don't want to play multiple transactions a turn. If we drew an ice here, we would maybe double ice, but this, unfortunately, we could have played petty cash first and we didn't. So it might have been strictly right there to play petty cash. We could still caveat emptor to give them a click. I'm okay with it because we like having this much money. So let's see what they can do with a 5-click turn on turn 1. They become Andy, sort of. Like, that's maybe not the best turn. Are we doing Luana overinstall play? I mean, we have to if we have a red cap. All right, cool. Good thing we have money. There's only 1 hit here. That's good. We'll res this to get the bad publicity regardless. They can really only afford to do this kind of once. But this did cost 7. They hit the KPI. Nice. And the good thing about being 4 cards in hand is if we score the green mail, we don't discard. This will be soft to boomerang, but it's going to be hard to break this. Even a revolver, I think, is 4 credits. Which, like, I guess it's 3 credits with bad pleb. 7 is a lot. Again, I think I'm so used to resing this for 4. Maybe there's 1 too many trebuchets. This is not a bad ice here, unless they play D-res. I wonder if they're meant to save boomerang there. I mean, I guess they could. But if we trash it, it trashes the boomerang. So they don't actually save it, right? Well, it trashes the boomerang. So they don't save it. It just gets destroyed, right? They install nuke instead they click for credit. They can play class act instead. Okay. All right, so we can fix HQ. If we want to get his wiki, we can just play the green mail. They have to respect BOAC. I'll do this before Hermes is out. Not that Hermes does anything. We draw a card. Okay, cool. Yeah, this trashes anything. It has a really bad subroutine. So they might as well boomerang it. Nice. Yeah, nice. All right, so now we're just going to do like petty cash, Massacre of Plutus on the remote server. If they can break the ice and trash the Plutus, so be it. Otherwise, if they pinhole it, so be it. Caveat emptor can be annoying. We have still 11 agendas in R&D, so like we have to ice up R&D sooner than later. This is where you just put like a flywheel or something annoying that the deck doesn't have. So best case scenario is a Valen Chow there, as much as Peter Cilio has a lot of money. All right, Afshar and R&D is like not the worst. We'll start with the petty cash because we have to. Everything drawing a card is just so good. But this stuff is really expensive. This is where if we had a Luana Kamposh, we'd be relatively happy. So we might not have to play 2 transactions this turn. I think we can just do Mask. Actually, we probably just do Valenchow credit. If the actually Mask, we can leave R&D open is fine. Because if Plutus can play the hedge fund, it's really good. Let alone we can get rid of the green mail to get 4 credits. Like that seems like it's going to be really good for us. We can discard 3 cards from this hand. I don't know. They've played 1 clean getaway. They definitely have run events in hand. On 10 credits, it shouldn't be hard for him to set up to get like boomerang for the remote server. So I guess we will just like slow down a bit. We'll just do this and this. We can still res the Valenchow. It won't really have text. But this means we can't get Boomerang transferred again, which is going to be an issue until we get to Vulture Fund. Yeah, 2 ice is now an issue because it's not just a single Boomerang. You need this plus something, and the breakers will struggle a bit with Trebuchet. He should know that this is an Afshar. That was the one card he saw. But with the bad pub change, Afshar got so much better. Winchester still just as bad into a bad pub deck. So how's Slay the Spire 2, everyone? Thanks for hanging out with me on second monitor. I know how it is. I like the game. I'll play it later today. But we'll be back later tonight at 8:45 with Pat. We're going to be streaming for a couple hours. It's been a fun week so far. I think tomorrow we're going to try out Melee SU and probably play some more HB. But if there's something specifically you want to see, like I still haven't played Vic yet. I'm assuming Vic is just good stuff criminal. But I think I'll be up to, maybe we'll play some tonight in paper. All right, DreamNet turn 3. Iru, ooh, scary. Good value, bad publicity, trash 2. So we may be overprotected centrals. We have a lot of agendas in the deck. Off the books, okay. I'm excited to get my work week over so we'll have time to play more Netrunner. Last week was so busy with the Netrunner stuff, with like launch week and everything. I was just trying to play Deadlock. I couldn't get a single game in all week. See if we can make chain reaction work. It's so ambitious. I keep building a chain reaction deck, and like I just think the question right now with Anarchs is how do you break ice? And I think the answer is just play ice destruction, because the Anarch Breaker Suite is like either you are Essa and Essa got really good support, or I don't know what else you're meant to do. I tried to play Silly Vic with Bachlan and Praxis, but it turns out you can just play Sable 2 Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, I do think Vic is just going to be Sable 2. And I do think like DreamNet's the big reason. Oh, wait, they didn't see the red cap? What did they see? They saw 2 cards there. Off the books? Why did, oh, because we're not on threat. Oh, right. Okay, so unfortunately, if we have to put this on R&D. We can start with the clickless petty cash. You sometimes want to keep one in the bin because of, what's it called? Plutus, but here we have to just like keep going. Okay, we can definitely play hedge fund to get money. Masquerovka on archives is like a bit too slow. This is not on threat text. It's only seeing a single card, which is not too bad. Masquerovka on archives is not terrible, but it's not going to scale well into bad publicity. But I don't think we can just let the DreamNet fire. So I think we probably will. Maybe the question is we have to like lose Zwicky value. I think we just do hedge fund archives. So if they force some reses here, it's not the end of the world. Oh, we have a click left. Oh, never mind. We should have drawn first. Because I'd rather put just about any other ice here than Masquerovka. Yeah, okay, cool. This is still good on the remote server. It has text. But this face check can knock out some pretty bad stuff. And then we're going to be at 2 bad pub, which this is still a 5-2. 4-2 is kind of doable. 3-2 is good. 2-2 is absurd. Yeah, we have to ice archives for sure. I just don't want to do it with the mask, which like is broken eventually for free plus with Kurapira. That's a problem. Trebuchet is neat, and like talk about Trace. You could technically just make this pay 6, but Trace is a cool way to make this ice less mean in the late game where bad publicity will overwhelm it. So I think here we have to just do KPI for 2 credits on a card draw, and then we'll install a piece of ice. Oh, never mind. Oops. Okay, so these are 2/2s. We can play a Vulture Fund again. Let's see what happens. Like we're gonna get a lot of bad publicity really quickly, and then we can start chaining these. So far, so good. We definitely want a Luana. Luana would have been good here. So maybe we should play 3. Plutus actually might be the 2 of them in the deck. I can't always tell. It is a must trash. So like they always have to trash it if they find it. Well, let's see on 5 credits if you can do this. Aren't they 2/4s right now? They're 2/4s now. They'll be 3/2s next turn when we Plutus a Vulture Fund. Plutusing a Vulture Fund is absurd. 14 credits and a 2 card draw. Don't worry about the bad publicity. It's not real. And then they still have to deal with the Plutus. So it's going to come down to can Vic find breakers. And I do think like one of the big things you'll find in the competitive standard meta is probably you have to address DreamNet. So I think any deck that I think has 2 little ice probably doesn't. Ooh. 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 What did we trash? A Kurapir hit the bin, so they probably have another. I think we trashed the DreamNet here, right? This trace doesn't really matter. Yeah, they're going to be 2/2s next turn. We actually can score this from hand. This is absurd. As long as it survives with 1 click left, it probably does. But if this survives, we can score these next turn. It's so good. Yeah, it ripped to the dreams. Let them dream net. Maybe Era because of one of the dream nets, Buck Wild. Yes, this is the one of. The issue though is like the Trebuchet and HQ just might make the Era already bad. Like this is doing double duty. And dream net would have fired that turn. We can score red cap on turn 4, or is this turn 5? Gun? That's good. So res Plutus. Forfeiting this. So this fires on their turn. Draw a card. Then we'll start a turn. We'll play the Vulture Fund. We'll draw a card. Yeah, maybe it should have been the Eru. Install advance. Let's go. The issue is a Revolver can only do this a couple times, and we're still not at threat 3. So he'll discard something. I'll discard the RLC, because if the RLC survives, we can actually score the off the books. It will survive if the Plutus survives. But this is the idea behind the deck, right? They need to deal with this Plutus, and with 12 credits and like 4 bad publicity, we might just fall apart here. We really have to stay ahead of them in terms of speed. I don't know if the Caveat Emptor was worth it. Playing the Caveat Emptor so they have 1 fewer click next turn might not matter. I think that's a thing that you want to do with Oppo. All right, so they're still only seeing 1 card. And this does break for free. Like you generally want 2 ice stacks, and that's a cool KPI thing. But they are limited with bullets, so this sees a single card because this has threat 3 text. This is very sick. Zwicky is sick, right? Like we've drawn a lot. We fired Zwicky every turn and once on their turn. This idea, that was the stats. We didn't talk about this, but they ran stats on the Surveyor, and one of actually the most impactful decks in the last meta turned out to be Zwicky. And because it never won an event, I think the only people playing it were the people who were quietly confident. But like Zwicky decks were doing quite well at tournaments. Okay, so we have a couple options here. We can either score the red cap, which I think we do. The thing is, like, the red cap doesn't need the Plutus to stick. If we want to do something that requires the Plutus to stick, we have to like use the Plutus to play RLC to score the off the books. I think we're going to do that and hope the red cap sticks, because the Plutus might not survive one more turn, and we need the Plutus to do this play. So we'll play RLC clicklessly. We'll gain a click, so we have a 4-click turn. We're not going to fire Zwicky. I don't think we need to. We could use it to install Spin Doctor, which actually might be fine here. Because we don't really need the money, and we don't need the card draw, because we're going to be on 5 cards anyway. So I'm actually going to install the Spin Doctor for tempo. Well, that's good. So now we just do new remote triple. Okay, let's go. I was pleasantly surprised about how much support Zwicky got that isn't like dedicated, just a silent winner of a ton of cards added. Yes. Like we got a lot of transactions in this set, which is like kind of awesome. Slotting word on the street, given every single faction has an FA combo. Let me know how it goes, because, and I'm not saying that dismissively, I'm saying that is like, please, I don't want to do it, but I want to know what happens when you do it. It showed up in my Markov analysis. Zwicky was consistently performing. Yeah, exactly. The Markov analysis was awesome. It's consistently performing well into top runners, but never made it cut 3. It was consistently very good into both Hoshiko and Sable, and not great into Arsana. Perfect ice res here. Got to keep the Plutus. He could boomerang do this, but I think he would have. He clearly doesn't have a Fractor, and I don't know how we lost to Kurapura, but it seemed like he was confident. Oh, this is a disaster. Res, shuffle, just to deny this. We are going to shuffle no cards back in because of Plutus. Just ripping away 6 credits, shuffling nothing. We have a petty cash in hand. If we could get that in the bin, that would have been good. It actually might have been right there to res the Spin Doctor, so end of turn we can discard the red level clearance to play it. But at the end of the day, it's fine because we're still just gonna score the regulatory capture from hand. So we'll just tempo a hedge fund to draw deeper. F it. We'll play a Caveat Emptor so they have a fewer clicks. We'll draw a card. Okay, cool. New remote, advance, score, and then we'll keep the RLC in hand so we can quickly draw cards. We'll throw out the petty cash and we'll throw out the KPI. We're on track. This is turn 8. I've never played Zwicky deck, which is weird to realize. Oh, Eric, it's so much fun. Just ripping along. It's funny that Emptor also slows them down. Yeah, they have 3 clicks. Now, Iru does see 2 cards here, which will technically lock the deck, but we can draw deeper. Shibboleth trying to break out Valenchao is going to be disgusting. We might have wanted to trash the Eero. I think it actually was right to trash the Eero because all our ice was iced up. All our shivers were iced up. Eero was the right trash, not DreamNet. We definitely made a big mistake there. Wouldn't KPI be better for the free advancement? Also drawing deeper? We already... Oh yeah, it was maybe an option. I think you're right. I realized that like I try to keep the KPI for turns that we haven't played a transaction, but you're 100% right. We could have just played this to draw a card, shuffle a card, and get an advancement. That being said, we can still do it now because it shuffles the deck, but that's a good point. That's a good point. I didn't consider that. Favor. Okay, so now this is the turn where everything is now going to fall apart, but maybe this is the turn that we're going to win the game. So we have a couple things that win. We're going to play the petty cash because it gives us a click. And then we just have to find the ice clicklessly, the agenda clicklessly. So it's not super likely. We might fall apart here because I think we want to do petty cash. We'll draw a card. Okay. So now we broke lock. So we can play RLC to draw 2 cards. We need an agenda, not that agenda. And then we can gain a click here. And then we can score a 4-2. That is not good enough. Oh, that's bad. Do we have another green mail? Only one more, unfortunately. RLC click spin. If we install spin, we only have 3 clicks left. So the only way that we win is... Oh, no, you're right. We can do it. Yeah, because we have the slash and burn. Yeah, so we draw the 1 red cap, or we draw... I think we only have one more 3-2, though. Wait, our deck... How many 3-2s does it have? Oh, we don't have that many 3-2s. We only have 3 3-2s. We should cut a slash and burn for a 3-2. Because if we draw slash and burn here, we can't do anything with it. Yeah, that actually is not good. Okay. So let's just batten down the hatches. Green mill, yeah. There's a couple cards that would get there. Unfortunately, we didn't find them. So protecting the Plutus is not super important. It's good, though. So... I mean, we might as well get another bad publicity, right? They're going to be on 8, 9 credits next turn. They won't ever have to break anything, though, which means they can run every centrals. But yeah, we did miss it here. I think we definitely need more 3-2s in the list because we can fast advance those out, and 3 slash and burns is probably too many. So that's an easy fix, as much as slash and burns a really good card. So this is going to go down for free, right? Like you break this for 4, and then you trash this for 3. You're right. We could draw once into his green mail and still win. It's just like it's a 1 in 18. I would not structure the whole turn around that one, unfortunately. I think we put Plutus on the table to have another option because we have another click gainer in the bin. And then we have to ice up archives or ice up server 2. In fact, we could put 3 Plutuses, which is kind of funny. This looks like a spin doctor. So the most annoying thing on archives, I think, will be the Valenchow. And then I think we'll just do... None of these are good. Let's try that. Yeah, green mail. If we had 2 green mails, I would draw once, but we only have 1. So 1 in 18 is, I don't think, a card we should attach our horse to. Or the other way around. Ooh, DreamNet's back. And with a vengeance. All right, having to find this Plutus unfortunately gets trashed for free with bad pub, so they are checking it. They maybe thought they could 2-for-1 the spin doctors. I could see that. That makes sense. Mind you, they're on 1 card in hand and not playing around measured. I think that's something we said we would keep in mind, but maybe we do sneak a single measured into this. Because they are not playing around measured because they have so much bad publicity. They don't need to play around measured. Or like it feels like they don't need the economy to play around measured when they have it for free. Again, we can still very much lose on this board state. That's the issue. Especially because they have multi-access. That's repeatable. They can always see the top 2. This spin doctor actually is really important because it allows us to shuffle if they see 2 and don't steal. We can use the spin doctor to shuffle to have a chance. Pinhole threading is also kind of rough. Okay, if we res the mask, we go down to 10. They have to break it. Yeah, this actually costs them real money. We'll do it. And because all we have is masks here, like the Courier charge is not incredibly worth playing ground. So let's see if they give us 2 credits or not. If they want the Courier charge, they can't. But this is, they're each 4, right? The money goes. This is a 4-4-3 credit server. Like this is all their money if they want to break all of it. And they've already fired DreamNet. Maybe they just let us have it. Like the spin doctor, we can respond to pinhole, but they should pinhole R&D maybe if they need to. They're thinking. Maybe able to push the 4-2? Yeah, maybe. They still need to touch 2 more agendas. Like there's no 5-3s. So pushing the agenda in the remote server and saying get it is like totally okay. After install advance of After, they only break for like 2 credits. It's probably not worth it. With KPI, it's a lot easier though. Oh, they broke, excuse me. They're going in, all their money. They're breaking all of it. I'm surprised. They're now only on bad pub. Yeah, measured to be really good. Ship breaks Valenchow for like 8. Yes, the Valenchow change is absurdly good for Valenchow. So Plutus is down. So we have to top deck the points, but they're on 0 credits. They'll be on 3 credits next turn. Top deck. Slash and burn is not enough, right? I think we can just put it in the remote server. But if that's the case, we might as well start with a KPI. In fact, we can put a Plutus in the remote server. I think we start with a KPI. So I'd rather gain 2 credits here because it draws a card. And mind you, Zwicky is like a soft interrupt. Oh, that's it. Good game. Install a piece of ice, ignoring all costs. Yeah, that's it. Good game. This is why you play Zwicky. It is so fun. Just speed. GG. Everything pushes you forward. This is 10 turns. We have 16 cards left in R&D. We drew so many cards. Thanks. Thanks for the game. I think I should have nuked Iru, not DreamNet. What do you think? Yeah, if we whiffed on that, we could put Plutus in the remote server and then just like play Vulture Fund for more money. We probably don't Vulture Fund because the bad publicity goes further for them. Yeah, they agree. I think it was right to trash the Iru because there's only a 1 of. We're safe against Praxis. All the servers were iced up against DreamNet. Yeah, for sure. And everything was iced. Like, it turned off the DreamNet for that turn, but like Iru is something we could see ourselves losing to. With the amount of overdraw and discard we saw, is Reanimation Protocol worth another look? Low key, I don't think so. Like, we did throw out a BOAC, but we threw out the BOAC on the turn before we win. It's like the first ice we have to put on the table. Oh yeah, I was wondering how that got in there. I guess you have 2. Yeah. But like, I think animation is a double, right? Oh, it's not. That's a bit better. I'm not convinced. For this card to be really good, you need to be rezzing like a really expensive piece of ice. I think it's maybe something we have to play around more. Aye. Thanks for the game. Pre-pressure into the DreamNet trash? Yeah. It was going to fire that turn, but I think we should have slowed down and thought about the Iru. That's good to know. Yeah, right? Yeah. BP came fast. Cheers. Yeah, BP came fast enough, which is good. BOAC for 4? I mean, it's okay, but we only have 1 BOAC in the whole deck. Like, we're not even guaranteed to find it, let alone the 1 of Reanimation. Let's go. Corp. Like, it's very easy to think about, oh, that game you got the BOAC for 4, but I think if you don't build your deck entirely around that interaction, it's not consistent. It won't really fire all that often. Ooh, Barry's going to be really bad. This matchup is really, really bad because Baz wants to install ice, install things at run speed, and bad publicity gives run speed credits. This is just a very, very, very bad matchup. I'm going to keep this hand because it's funny. No, it's not responsible to keep this hand. This is much better. Nice to have a way to force a bad pub. Trebuchet or big berries are good targets. I'm hoping with Plutus Vulture Fund it's enough. So far in our 1 limited testing case, we haven't had a struggle to get bad pub, but that's the thing worth keeping in mind. Thanks, you too. Is that whether or not bad pub is a struggle. All right, so we will do the turn 1 petty cash. Okay, so Baz is a rough matchup. Valenchow and HQ is pretty good. We res this for usually 3, as much as Boomerang does beat this handedly. Boomerang beats Trebuchet handedly too, so that's not good either way you slice it. We're going to try not to ice servers that we don't need to. I do think DECKLISTS probably more of a Hermes than a Penny Shaver Baz, but I think both are like pretty reasonable. I don't know, something like this. Hey, Slimeox, you're 20 minutes behind. That can happen. For sure that can happen. Oh, yeah, right. We should have put the 3-2 in it. Yeah. Good reminder if I forget it next time. Yeah, we should have changed the agendas. All right, so we don't res here. It's not a very good axis, and it stops Barry from installing something. So cool. Don't res if you don't need to. It also turns off the card draw card under domes, which might be there. No Plutus in sight. We'll petty cash for tempo. Okay, Afshar is good. Generally blunts most of the installs. We can put a Trebuchet on R&D. We don't have much else to do here. We've already Zwickied. We don't have a remote push. This is where like we don't have bad pub, so maybe we should have considered resing the Valenchow for that reason. I think we can just do this. I guess we have a click left. I forgot that was clickless. I'm not a good enough. I don't think I'm sharp enough to know whether we should just KPI for value. I think we should. I think we should KPI for draw install, which we should have done before the Trebuchet, because the install on the Afshar will save us a credit. Admittedly, the credit we pay on this, so it's fine. So are we going to gain 2 or are we going to draw shuffle? I think we're just going to gain 2. So we'll install this onto HQ. We've already got our Zwicky, and we'll put this on R&D because we want to res these sooner than later. I guess we still should have drawn first there. Yeah, we definitely should have drawn first there. At least ROC will draw next turn. We can draw 3 credits with three cards with this. All right, those are the cards that I reckon wanted to be installed from hand. We did empty a Nuka in a whole turn, so we're going to discard some cards here. Duckland might be just on the no nonsense. Oh, compromise. Sick. No, she knows we're on bad publicity, so she's not going to play the compromise. We love compromise. All right, we can caveat Emptor. I think we can give Duckland a click here. It draws a card, so we'll do it at the start of the turn. But what's the rest of our turn? I guess if that's the case, we'll start with red level clearance. So we'll draw 2. Fine. So then we don't caveat. I think we'll just put the Plutus behind ice to see if it forces interaction. We could technically res it. It's not going to be the worst. So we haven't Zwickied yet, right? No. We'll just do the mask. Plutus. See what happens. Aluana would be fine here. We're bravadoing. Okay, so I'm assuming there's a boomerang here. If we don't res, she trashes for 3. If we do res, we go down 10. We have no bad pub yet, so I guess we might as well get the reses here. There's a boomerang. That's fine. It gets it back into the deck. She only pays 1 for this because she goes through the ice, let alone the 2 credit swing, but that means she can't trash the Plutus, so this is fine for us. Was that right? Oh, okay, cool. Gotcha. So she wanted to fire that so she has credits for the Plutus. That's probably correct if she thinks this is a 3-cost trashable. That's neat. I never considered that. So now she can trash a Plutus, which, like, we're happy with that. But that's cool. Like, you don't get the credit because you don't pass, but then you can't trash the thing. So if it's an Antil, you're fine. If it's anything more expensive, you're not fine. Oh, that seems important. So we'll caveat to give her 1 fewer click, I think. No, we need the money. We'll give her a click. Let's see how bad this can be for us. How bad could this possibly be for us? We have a lot of money now. The Valenchow should be good. Now this requires 2 boomerangs, which is a lot harder. Okay, we're going in. If we res this, we get onto 13. The Afshar deadens the what's it called? The Bravado. We could also just res the Valenchow, but I'm okay here. If we score the above the law, we'll shoot down whatever comes off on this. Mag Electric. So that means we're probably going to get around HQ at some point through archives. She loses 2. Unity, checking archives. Okay, cool. So we want to score this up. That's all we're doing. We go down to 10. We discard. We trash an OO daily casts. I'm not sure what the biggest target here is. Mag Electric can mean alarm clock. Yeah, I guess it could. I'm more worried about like maybe Baker, but more even what's that card where you pop out of the manhole? Like that might be worse for us. I think we don't have to do anything with this card. So we just keep going. We should pause too long there. So let's just keep drawing. You need to pressure these because we're on slash and burns. So I'll just put this on archives. We currently have no bad publicity and that sucks. Yeah, maintenance access. Yeah, that's the one we have to play around. Let alone Iru seems like a fine Baz card. Making the runner lose 4 credits is fine. Maybe we can get better. If window boomerang on the Afshar. Okay. So the boomerang's on this? That can't be right. Yeah, I think she wants to boomerang the Valenchow. And then she's going to de-res something? Okay, so if we res the Afshar, she loses 2, she gets an install. The Valenchow, we want to res it. Giving her bad publicity is pretty bad. But what's the text on this? When the run begins, de-res a piece of ice. When the run ends, the core may res the ice de-res. So we can get a free Afshar. That means we'll fire Baz anyways. It's a 40% chance for this run to be good. She has nothing to de-res, so we don't really want to res anything big here. It's just this Valenchow will be pinned. So if we res the Afshar, she could just de-res the Afshar. She could de-res the Spin Doctor for us. You de-resing the Spin Doc? I shouldn't attract more attention to the spin. But like she can make a successful run and de-res something. I wonder, this can't be a compromat run, right? De-resing the Masquerovka doesn't matter. If we res and she gets past Mag Electric is better, yeah, that's why I don't want to res this. So I think we just let this through. If we res this Afshar, we lose 3 credits, but she can immediately de-res it. Yeah, I think we just let this all through. I don't care. They lost 2? Sorry? Chris, I don't know if I've said hi. Red level, perfect. Res Afshar? Yeah, okay. So now she can install. It's technically, I don't know if it's outside of the run again. When that run ends, so you couldn't use bad publicity on this install. No install on Baz. Hey, aloha, David. How's it going? Good morning. So the above the law just got worse, unfortunately. I think we just score the off the books from hand to clear our hand up a bit, and that puts more pressure on the spin doctor. Again, we've seen no Hermes yet, so we do just do this while we can. Unfortunately, we don't get to play it, what's it called, in a transaction, but 2 points is 2 points. It also puts way less pressure on HQ when you take out 2 agendas in a single turn. You really do need to contest the spin doctors. Fran Sophia. Okay, cool. Class act. All right. Are we shooting Fran Sophia? I don't think we are. We definitely could. She should be suspicious of what this is, but it's still seeming relatively safe. Unity is terrible against Valenchow. So I think we just do this because it draws a card and it fires Zwicky, and now we're technically like threatening Bioac at any point. Like, again, just Zwicky things. Just like every turn is smooth. Okay, daily cast for 8. We'll take that down for sure. Transfer. Okay. Not super impactful. The Valenchow is not a great res, unfortunately, because she has no 2 credits to lose, so she'll let that subroutine fire. One and 5 here. Hit the red level clearance with the Bioac. Hit the Bioac, perfect. That'll put some fear, and she has to clear the tag, and there's the Hermes. So now we can let R&D be open. I think we definitely trash the daily cast and we throw out a petty cash. Bye. We're on game point. Do we want the bad pub? We do, and we might be at the point where we actually transition into the bad pub. Opened up archives is interesting. I just don't think we can get bad pub fast enough because we need to get to 4 bad pub, which probably won't happen fast enough. So we'll pull this away. Slash and burn goes back. I think Plutus goes back. We do want to keep some events in the bin. Maybe Plutus was not right. Overinstall the Valenchow for sure. Boomerang is so trapped. Yes. I think we do want to overinstall it. We might res it once, and if she de-reses it, maybe she'll run it again. But her money is not keeping up. We have to remember also all ice is more expensive. There's the Underdome. Like, Baz has not been firing super consistently. We have a Vulture Fund. I think we play it because it's good, and we just push the red cap into the remote server. If she runs the remote server, it becomes a 4-2. We could do petty cash clicklessly. We might as well. Okay, we can do Vulture Fund Ice red cap and say the game is now. What are you going to do? And we can slash and burn it if it's not. Go. That would have been a good KPI. Bravado. Okay. Again, bad pub can't be lost to Afshar anymore. Really big change. Actually worked out for her. Good change for her. If we res this, she can boomerang it. I guess we don't. Do you need one more bad publicity? If no, because we can just do slash and burn. Right? Slash and burn advance is 4. Oh, I guess we do, but if she runs it, we do. We could have res the Valenchow, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Hopefully she runs the remote server. Like, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. We might have wanted to res the Valenchow actually there, tactically. That probably was correct. Top deck slash? No, but we still could. No. Okay. So this is a Trebuchet, which you can deal with. So I think we put a Masquerade on R&D. We need to make sure we don't have too much money because like Fran Sophia will actually bypass the Valenchow. Maybe that's a reason to res the Valenchow to stop the bypass. But too much money is a real thing. We can draw with the KPI, and if we draw slash and burn, we still win. Okay. No. Oh, red level we can also do too. Yeah, we could have done that first. That would have been better. But yeah, even if we draw with a KPI, we can advance here. I think we still will. Now it's too late though. Yeah, we could have red level clearance first. It was strictly better, I think. We can do an advancement, or we can install an ice on R&D. Can we install a piece of ice? Have we got credits yet? No, we haven't. I think we messed this up. I think we did mess this up. Sorry. Oops, sorry, Caps. Going to do something first. I think we still just RLC here. Because I just want to get the text to fire. I guess we did this all really, really bad, but it would be before we trash this ice. So we have to like put the Afshar here advanced. I mean, that's fine. We don't play the RLC. Let's see if this is good enough. I don't know. It's all R&D against HQ. I think the way that we lose because we've pre-advanced this is to R&D. So I do want to advance this once. So I do want to ice this up. This I'm only icing up because of transfer and stuff like that. Interesting. Oh, Kurapir's here. The whole gang is here. So we res this Valenchow. She can install a boomerang from hand. We have to res this for 6, which puts us on 9. She has to break it. I think we just res these. If she steals a red cap, it's not the end of the world. This is very expensive to break. And it has a relevant face check. Because again, she cannot lose bad publicity, and the bad publicity no longer counts as her credit pool. So she has to break this. Fran Sophia, we have now ducked. Yeah, it nerfs Fran Sophia. So the second one firing is gonna, first one firing is gonna make the second one even better. Yeah, Fran Sophia is really awkward. I do think the text on her is like really annoying. It's like cool that it seems like both parts work, but actually you're right. Like part 1 makes part 2 not super relevant. It won't let you? Oh yeah, on approach. Done that before. Yeah, so Unity is at 7 strength. You might as well break the loose too. All right. So we gain 2 credits, which matters. Because hey, look how much bad publicity we're on. It's so good. It's a 6 strength Kogate that has relevant face check and the subroutines matter. Fire all. Okay, cool. A Res Maskarovka, might as well. She can't install anything. Yeah, the only thing she can do there is run R&D, but now, hey, look at this. We don't even have to slash and burn. GG. Zwicky's just trucking along. Zwicky looks fun. It's been really, really fast. Really, really like forward flowing. I'm gonna be real, that was my one Baz game with you. No, Baz is so cool. I'd recommend sticking it. I think she spent credits before approach. Yes, she boosted on approach, I'm pretty sure. Which is fine because the strength stays. I reckon he's pretty good right now. But I'll be excited to be proven wrong. Thanks for the game. Yeah, I do think like there might be too many slots for res derez stuff. Like I think you can play Baz just like a res reg criminal. I think that's the sort of the issue. There's a lot of cards that you want to make sure you're swinging into it so much. And maybe at the end of the day, Baz is a worse reg criminal than Vic. But like, I don't know if I would highly recommend playing Fran Sophia Ward. I do think window of opportunities are good cards for sure. But yeah, it's there's still a lot of slots here that like the Mag Electric, it was kind of impactful. I think that's also the issue is like, you need a reason to make me want to res ice. And all those HQ runs were just like, no res, no res, no res. And I do think that's like where Hermes matters. And that's also why people want to pay Penny Shaver a fair bit. I think Baz runs Bachlan over Fran Sophia almost every day. I don't even know if you play either. I do think Bachlan sounds more like a fun Vic thing because removing a tag is expensive. But that being said, you can play like 3 no free lunches in your Baz deck. And I think you should play 3 no free lunches. I think you should play Stone Chip. Like the fact that I can res ice and you install like a Stone Chip is just a good tempo swing. Declan, thanks for the game. Hey, Bruno. I got busy working and at 2x speed trying to catch up. Be sure to talk that fast so I don't notice the transition. I'll talk slower for a bit and then faster. All right, let's just do the one agenda change that we wanted to do. I mean, it hasn't been terrible so far, so we'll see if this is good or not. But the slash and burns are actually like very useful utility cards to take the other cards out of our deck. Maybe this is bad. Does Fran Sophia Ward only work on Bio? Sorry? It fell apart there at the end, Joel, I'll be honest. Like maybe 3 slash and burns is right. It hasn't been awful yet. Let's say it hasn't been awful yet and just keep playing it. Let's do one more for this and then we'll transition to something else. I'll be honest, I've been struggling a lot on the corp side or just in general this week. And you can tell when I'm playing Zwicky, which is like very much my comfort zone. Oh my God, do things fly? Does it only work on BOAC? It works on any card, right? It just depends on your money. This has to be a smurf, right? Principia works after you res the Corpus 15 credits. Yeah, it doesn't care about the res cost of the ice. All right. Okay, this has to be a smurf. All right. We have Slash and Burn and Red Cap into a Vic. We have Vulturefund Afshar. I mean, like, I could consider keeping this. The Red Cap's not great. The Slash and Burn is not amazing, but the Spin Doctor. We haven't seen a single Luana, which I definitely want to see. Thanks, you two. They say this is spicy, which we'll find out. Not a great hand, but we can mulligan into a lot worse. We probably should mulligan this. I mean, we're going to draw so many extra cards. This hand will fix itself. I've never read the card correctly. Yeah, it just cares about the credit pool. It doesn't care about the ice cost. The problem is, like, it's actually worse against BOAC because if they res it for a lot, they probably don't have 15 after the res. Okay, fine. So we start with the hedge fund. That's like have fun. Okay, that's good because it means that we can use the Slash and Burn on tempo. So we'll just do Ice HQ remote and see what happens. We are not respecting DreamNet. Maybe we want to mulligan into more ice because icing up both important centrals turn 1 is really important against DreamNet. Yeah, we should try Nuving at some point. It probably won't be today because it's a shorter stream. Open DreamNet, hate it. It's weird. It's like, you would think the ID text would be better than the resource text, but the ID is always in play. It's like the Hermes versus Leela thing. But like, if you printed this ID on a criminal card, it would be absurd. And now we're just trying to mulligan into this ID. Clean getaway? Yeah, better. I'm not going to res the Spin Doctor. Again, our deck has like 10 agendas and 42, so R&D density is like still high. I wonder if we should play flywheels. Like, I don't know. We have enough good ice. All right, after our face check is fine. As text. We can't Vulture Fund super easily unless we draw something nice. Okay, I think we just do credit Vulture Fund. And then we can put the Valenchow in R&D. They'll think it's a Maskarovka maybe, but you don't generally want to face check Maskarovka regardless. And at any point in time, if we draw 3-2, especially in above the law, we'll just slash it and go. Like, Spin Doctors actually require some pressure. It's one of my favorite things that opponents usually don't respect Spin Doctors as Wiki, and you get away with murder. You should deal with them if you can. Nice. They think it's a mask? I think. Nice to get our ice resed. Oops, there goes your credits. We res this for 3. Like, they've lost 4 credits to face check so far on turn 2. 1 bad publicity. This is a 5-2. Just DreamNet. I think this kind of rush flywheel's not good until we have Pluto set up and they have combo threat. We need Ender Iron going early. Oh, they're de-resing Valenchow? I don't think we mind. We could Spin Doctor to try and get a fast advance piece. There's 3 agendas we can. I think we're just going to hedge fund and then ice up to Plutus maybe. Actually, I'm going to Maskarovka Archives. I think that makes more sense. So I think we just draw once. You know what kind of gamers we are. I'll destroy a snake with a cannon. Superior siege engine. Or whatever that was for a bit. They can trash us with bad pub. They usually do. That sucks. Maybe we should use this proactively. Because they can definitely trash it for free with bad publicity. I think they always would. So I guess we will actually shuffle cards back here. That actually does suck. We probably should have iced this up instead of doing whatever garbage we did last click. Draw a card. Yeah, we definitely should have iced that up in hindsight, now that they're on 2 bad pub. Wait, why are they on 2 bad pub? Oh, because we played a Vulture Fund. I guess we have to crack this because it denies DreamNet. I'm going to put 1 hedge fund back in, and I'm going to say that's enough. I'm going to say that's enough, because we might have a Plutus this turn. Oops. 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 Oops alert. Oh. Respect. Uh-oh, we killed the snake. And now we didn't trust the DreamNet or the open market on the basis that they can't make a successful run easily. We could have gone for the open market. It is 6 credits. We're happy to throw out the petty cash, so I think we'll just do Plutus Maskarovka and call it a day. Click for credit. We did not fire Zwicky this turn. We could have petty cash first and done that. Actually, it's right to petty cash first there, isn't it? Yeah, sorry. thought I was being clever. I need to math it out. Yeah, that's better. So we'll do new remote. We have to discard a card here. So in theory, we could just play KPI to install. Yeah, we'll just play KPI here. Mess. Because we can gain to install this. We just don't discard cards. Technically, Boomerang Transfer does something to us. I don't think it's the end of the world. The problem is the accesses get ripe. Hey, Emily, how's it going? Welcome to the Twitch side. Restream works, huh? It's much quieter over there. For those who don't know, we used to have like all our viewership on Twitch, and then like over the years, it has moved to YouTube. I'm still happy to stream on Twitch for sure, but it's definitely different than it used to be. We used to have totally like the reverse numbers. I think the YouTube culture is just different. They're trying again. We don't mind this getting derezzed. We would love to res more. One more. All right, one credit res. If we had in hand, what's it called? If we had in hand an off the books, we would Plutus this hand, I think. Because if we want to res Plutus, we have to discard 3 cards from hand. I mean, we could consider doing it. We could Plutus away the Bioac, the Plutus, and a reg cap. That's probably pretty expensive. But we can play the KPI to shuffle the card back immediately. Oh no, it's from HQ. Of course it is. I don't think it's worth it. Just slash a reg cap. Yeah, that's probably it. But then it's in archives anyways, so like, what's the point? Like, these are 3/2s. I don't think we res this. It might have been right. Okay, Trebuchet is really good. I think we have to put it on HQ though. We'll start here. Oh, with Plutus, we probably don't start there. Oh, I've messed it up. Yeah, whatever. Okay, that's fine. So maybe we do like hyper archives. We could res the Plutus now if we wanted to, and get a res before we discard the end of turn. That honestly might be reasonable, as funny as that definition of reasonable is. So we could like ice this up and throw this. Yeah, I think we res Plutus now, no joke. So we res the Plutus, which is like, I've never done this off turn. So we'll throw out a Plutus, a Bioac, a Caveat. And I'm just going to protect this slightly. Don't worry about HQ. Like, we get transferred, it's bad. Hold on, we should have drawn first there. Okay, I think we really did the turn bad. We haven't played a transaction yet, have we? No, we did play Petty Cash. Yeah, we could have kept drawing. We might have wanted to play the Vulture Fund there. This is not good. We could have done this better. Seeing streams on YouTube much easier, but I'm also always on YouTube. YouTube has way better discoverability, and let alone the archival being actually good is the reason. The cultures technically like used to be different. Like YouTube, people didn't chat; they just hung out. And Twitch, they chatted, and like now YouTube Twitch chat is like legitimate. Okay, I think we just play the Vulture Fund and go. We have every reg cap in hand. I mean, we're okay discarding the RLC because it allows us to do some nonsense, but we're just going to score from hand here. Let's go. Oh no, we lost the Valenchow. Are they going to compromat it? Anybody running Hackerspace? Is it too situational? It seems really good in ESSA. It actually means ESSA can probably play a different console. I think in ESSA it's good. You're going to play Nurse Han. Anyways, Nurse Han is really quite good. I mean, I'm going to res this. I don't care if this gets D-res. Did he score 2 red caps in 1 turn? No, they bottom out at 2/2s. So I don't think we can. Install, slash and burn, install. We would need another slash and burn in hand. It's actually possible. It is technically possible. Caveat a click away from them because it's fun. Okay, another piece of ice here would have been cool. We want to discard an RLC, so technically you can always just play it instead of discarding it. I can re-res this Valenchow every turn and not care. Throw ice to res, push reanimation protocol and back. I think that was like the very ambitious play that is probably not worth it. I think you have to build the deck about that trend. Like, you have to make your deck very much about that. We tried to put 1 reanimation in it, and my guess is it's not worth the slide. I think we just keep going. So we might as well RLC to gain 2 and gain a click because we're going to discard it anyways, right? Yeah. If we top deck a slash and burn, we can win next turn by scoring multiple agendas. I mean, I don't mind. They're not losing a lot. But like, I have never res the same balance chat. We only res it for 3 credits. Like, they're farming bad publicity, which is really funny. But okay, so now we're gonna play the RLC. We're gonna gain 2 cards because we could draw slash. We're definitely gonna gain a click. And then it's either we gain 2 credits to draw a card or we draw 2 cards. I'm just gonna draw 2 cards. And I think here we actually do win. We do. I've never done this before. New remote. New remote. Oh no, I can't. I can't. Sorry. We had to draw the sorry, we scored too many slash and burns. We had to draw a green mail there. We didn't draw a green mail. Whatever. Expend. Score. Yeah, we had a green mail there. We could have done it. We can't do it. So that's okay. We'll give them 1 fewer click. Ordering was bad. Ordering was really suspect. And we'll just give them another bad publicity and see what happens. Yeah, they said they had some hot tech. I think it was Tranquilizer, but unfortunately they just haven't spun out. They've spent a lot of time installing cards that just don't pay off, unfortunately. All right, that's more than enough. We'll give them 1 fewer click, draw a card. Oh, it was up there. It was up there. But let's just go ahead and be as rude as possible. Yeah, Zwicky is like very fast, so it very much punishes like slower. Thank you, game. Thanks for the game. It really does punish slower, maybe slower ideas. This was only turn 9. I do think we could have cut a turn off of that. Hey, you too. We definitely could have cut a turn off of that. I've also never like rezzed into a Tranquilizer over and over again so consistently. That is so funny. Could we play Myoshu? I don't think it's this deck, but this deck is definitely cooking. This is cool. I don't think it's fully refined. I think figuring out that the slashes is better than the 3-2. There's a chance the slashes are better actually, because anytime that we want to draw a slash, we want to draw a slash. And our deck in theory should have 6 3-2s because when the red caps are good, the red caps are good. 7 bad publicity. Mind you, I don't know if they have breakers. They've only drawn through a couple cards in their deck because they did not land a class act. They did not land a Nuka. They did not land anything that draws cards. Like the Dream Net drew no cards, I don't think. Maybe it drew 1. No, because they got on turn 1. I at least drew 1 card. All right. We've been streaming for 2 hours just about. Let's try something else. So feeling good about this. This seems like a deck you can definitely like bring to casuals and have a great time. So earmark that. Now let's try and build a version that wants to Myoshu out. I think that's the next thing we're going to try. So we'll try and actually push in a remote server aggressively. So let's try 3 flavors of Zwicky. And this one will be big Zwicky. So let's go. I'm still not going to play Reanimation Protocol because we don't want to play with bad pup. I don't think. Okay, so the thing here is we're going to play Myoshu's. Myoshu, if we play it, Myoshu, as long as we have 10 credits, we can win off 2 agenda scores. So I think we're going to push in a remote server. Probably we're going to use seamless launches. We're going to use, what's it called? The other ones, the 4-2. Was today supposed to be paper play? Can't wait, Jake. It will be. 2 streams today. We're going to be streaming in the afternoon right now, and then we'll be returning at 8:45 Eastern, which will be a paper stream. But today is not going to be a 6-hour stream. It'll be a 3-hour stream and then a 3-hour stream because like it's Vantage Point week. What are we going to do? I'll play 2 of these just so that we can get it consistently. Maybe we have enough card draw. The other thing you can play is a Malapert Data Vault so you can get the Myoshu when and if you need it. Now, the one card I think I didn't realize how easy of a combination it is, as much as money is good, is you can play Off-World Office to get your Myoshu credits up. Because technically, if you have 3 credits after you score the Off-World Office, you can win off the Myoshu. So I'm assuming we're going to do that. That means we want to play fewer agendas because our goal is to score a 2-pointer and then a 3-pointer. And that will take us up to 7 with Myoshu. So the 3-pointer, I'm assuming we're playing in Zwicky. Like there's a chance it's SDS drone deployment and nothing else. But also we can play Basalt Spire, which allows us to return our transactions back to hand. And that also seems pretty good. So this is maybe an agenda suite. That leaves us on 15, which is kind of ugly. There are some games where does Greenmail ever help us? It's like not a bad Zwicky card for sure, as much as Hermes is not super prevalent while people are still trying out Rotary. But if you score this out, this will take us to 18 and then we can play a 2-pointer. Is there any board state where scoring green mail is better than anything else? I think it isn't. So maybe we can try Sacrifice Zone Expansion. And this is like our tempo card. Unfortunately, this puts us at 9 agenda points, but I think we want 5 3s because we need a 5-3 for Myoshu to be relevant. Because you have to score either a 1, a 2, a 2, and Myoshu, or a 3, a 2, and Myoshu. 21 agenda points is actually like significantly worse, it turns out, just having more points. And like in the way that my stats don't calculate, or actually very linearly to what my stats calculate, it's faster for you, the corporation, to find the right agendas to score out. But having an additional agenda point in a deck does make it significantly easier for the runner to find 7 agenda points. That's probably pretty intuitive. So like maybe we don't play, I want to play this because it's a new card. So maybe we do this and then we just play like 1 green mail. I just don't think that's going to be that good. Maybe we could play like 1, the exchange one I don't like. We could play an above the law. It's actually probably better than a sacrifice zone expansion. And we could play like 1, what's that really ugly one where you return a 3-1? We could play a divested. Yeah, we could do -1 off 1 green mail, but like, I don't think this is the issue, is that the green mail doesn't help us win. It just doesn't, right? Like there's no combination where scoring this green mail matters. Because if we do a 3 into a 1, it puts us at 4. So we still have to score 2 agendas unless it's a 3, a 1, and a 2, but then Myoshuing doesn't matter. Like it just doesn't matter. Maybe we can play green mails so we can res Beowalks. Maybe that matters. Yeah, spell green mails. How's it going? Ultrafill to protect the scoring remote. Maybe that's the reason where like we have more of them and that's fine. So maybe we can try something like this and play a fewer basalts. No, that doesn't make sense because we want odd. So that. Like this is probably the agenda suite, I'm assuming. All right, we're going to play the Spin Doctors. We're probably going to play Antilles in this remote server because we just want to draw. I don't know what we're going to spend our influence on. I guess we'll find out together. Ice, we're not going to be playing Bad Publicity. I'm assuming we want at least a couple Beowaks. Oh, we could also play, instead of green mails, we could play Eminence. Eminence might be better. I can't tell. I could see Eminent being good too because it's one of the things where you snowball forward pretty hard. Taking a break from work to see Vantage Point fun times. Slay the Spire 2 is out, by the way. You're choosing to be here and I appreciate that. Okay, so we want just a good remote server. I don't know if we played Event Horizons in the last deck. I think we did. We probably shouldn't, honestly. It's not good into Bad Publicity. So we'll play Event Horizon, we'll play Maskarovka. Good. This probably is a flywheel deck for centrals. I'm assuming I want to play this card. It seems good. This is a lot of sentries. Code gate slots, like we'll play 2 Afshars at a minimum. I don't know what mid-range code gates we're playing. Like, I don't know if we play Toxin. I want to play Netrunner, but I want to play SDS too. I mean, these are good problems to have. Like, Valenchow honestly might just be worth playing unironically, because it's a 3-credit res with good text. Like, I do think Valenchow is probably just a card you play in Weyland at this point. People weren't, and admittedly, this card is now better because it's immune to its own poison, and it does produce poison. You're distracting me from dealing with my extremely mixed feelings about the latest piece of national news in the United States. You're making my life demonstrate to be better right now. Now you're distracting me because I don't know what the next piece of news is, but I imagine it's just the continuing nightmare. So apologies for that. We probably need a log jam, like a big anchor ice. And I don't know if we're going to play enough upgrades for log jam. Shout out to the last deck though. We didn't play Shackleton and I don't think there's any chance that deck wanted Shackleton. It's just way too cute. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I feel like we want something here. Like, I don't know if we're going to play Shylendras on centrals. They're hard to deal with. Let's leave that problem until we come back. We can spend influence on ice. Like, this honestly might be a Sleipnir deck because we have all the influence. We're going to spend some influence on like scoring. I do guess that we're going to spend most of our influence on like Seamless Launch, and then like Hollow Man probably is worth it. Mesney's good too. I think Mesney and Sleipnir are kind of comparable. There's a chance that Mesney's better because it's harder to deal with, and Sleipnir, like, we don't actually, we have good card draw baked in. So I could see that being the case. But also like double Hollow Man, I think takes us to 6. And I do think you need to be able to like score with clicks left. And so the best ways you can do it are Hollow Man Seamless. And in theory, we could also change our agenda suite to have Slash and Burns in it as well. But I do think cards like this are super important for this sort of archetype. Okay, let's play our transactions. So we're going to play Petty Cash, Hedge Fund, Vulture Fund. We're going to play, probably we need a couple like key performance index. I wish I could search KPI. KPIs. We're probably going to need like some government subsidies because we need Myoshu money. This takes us to 49 cards, 15 influence. The issues I think we need... No, actually, this might be playable. Shackleton exists to stop stealth. I think it's worth it in Ob, although its real estate goes up against Criminal, which has been Anarch and Taka. I think actually, David, the reason why Shackleton exists is to stop bad publicity. I think it's good that it deals with Chesvan stealth, but I think like the reason you play this is because you know it's going to fire because you're giving bad publicity, because bad publicity is now outside the credit pool. But yeah, I just don't want to play a card in my deck that says, "Oh, you're playing stealth, get ruined." Like that sounds awful. Let's see what this draw's like. I think we might need more ice because we're slightly more glacier. Because we don't have that much ice we want to put on HQ in turn 1. Maybe Flywheel's not it. But say that we just do like green mail into Anarch, keep HQ open, fine. Scoring the green mail opens the BOAC up. Do we want to play Plutus in this deck? I mean, it's good. Plutus is good. But it doesn't seem necessary. Singleton Malapert's also maybe worth it in the deck because there's no card that we can get that's not bad. Right? Like Myoshu's really important. But I do think we just want to build a remote server and push. Like this hand is ugly. We'd probably say that we mulligan into this. We'd probably start with a petty cash. Sometimes you just start with a hedge fund and discard this. Say that we start with a petty cash. Yeah, this is not a good opening. But it should be in every deck. Amen. The BOX are feeling a bit clumsy. They're not feeling great. I think we can try this. This might be too much. But this is not a good opening hand. Is this a good opening hand? We have 10 agendas and we drew 3. That's kind of weird. So here we would open with the petty cash. We would like mask R&D, HQ, logjam R&D. Next turn we score a green mail. We draw a card. We discard. Oh, we don't discard, excuse me. Then from here we can do like mask Rovka, Afshar remote, put in the off-world office. Mind you, off-world office fires Zwicky, which is cool. Toxin v BOAC. I think we could try one of each. I think the benefit is that we res BOAC for free when we do res BOAC for free, and it makes the green mails make sense. Toxin like has a bit of a face check. I still haven't res one to date. It does also have text on it though, but that's maybe more of a Nuvang thing. What ice could we play in this deck that we're happy about? Because I don't think I like the ice so much. Yeah, I think Malapert might be worth it. I think we're going to try without it, but I could see us cutting a Myoshu for a Malapert. I could definitely see that. So we have a bit too much bad pop to play Winchester. Let's say we don't play 3 Bound Chows. Tree Line's not bad. It's just a fine card. Do we want a different big barrier than Logjam? Without Tree Lines, it's just okay. I think Logjam is better than it looks. It beats Boomerang. You generally res it for 4. It usually is 3 to 4 strength, which is enough, right? Like 3 strength is annoying for Propeller. It's annoying for Kurapira. The only other option that's like obviously in the slot is 7 cost. Like the difference between resing this for 4 and resing Pharaohs for 7 is massive. Like again, they face check your res for 4. It's not good on turn 1. Don't pretend it is. Tree Line's an option. I think Hammer's cute, but it's very expensive, and I don't think it's super meta relevant. Like literally in 0 games that we've played this entire week has someone not broken something with a killer. Oh, that's not true. Boomerang. But like whatever, you don't boomerang this, I don't think. I think Hammer's a bit more meta dependent than we'd want it to be. Maybe. Yeah, Pharaohs is not a bad ice. It's hard to deal with. It's just like 7 is a lot. Like we could play Trebuchet. Trebuchet's good. A cat's not bad. Hammer for Naval and Chow is nice though. Yeah, but that's a very expensive server. We could try this. This seems less like consistent. This does seem like we need a remote server to stick, and I don't think that's super consistent. This is not a great hand because we can't play the Vulture Fund on turn 1. So we probably just do like ice, credit. Next turn, credit, Vulture Fund. 2 Myoshus is pretty ugly. I want to try this because I think this is more flexible, and we'll see if we're struggling to get our Myoshu. But this is just like a fun card. We also have 3 upgrades, which makes the Logjam slightly better. That's definitely worth something. Oh, the other card that we could play in this is for sure is the Crisium Grid card, which I haven't felt has been super necessary. But I do think putting a flagship on HQ does just stop transfer. So this card's worth exploring, and it does make Logjam a bit better. Sandstone's a good card. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's better than we think it is. But I think if I want to play Sandstone, I would have to put a Mavirus in the list. I would have to put up Mavirus to feel good about it. Myoshu, Zwicky. Let's go. Or play Sokka Ice. For 3 influence, we can't. And for what it's worth, like, play Sokka Ice is real. For less influence, you can play Sleipnir. I'm sorry. This card's so good to me. It doesn't give you R&D ordering. You're right. You're saying Sokka Ice because it gets the Purge thing. And like, if that's relevant in the meta, the Sokka Ice gets a bit better. The Truth Seeker or Knowledge Seeker, I think it's called. But Sleipnir is just like, man, I'm like very, very horse pilled. New Corp deck. I really do want to play the new agenda that we advance. Oh, the Zwicky, right? Yeah, for the Sandstone Synergy. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It requires a lot of work for that to line up. Let's see if Toronto jumps into our game. Hey, City. All their Seeker alone gets run 3x and gets derezzed. I mean, if they do that, that's kind of expensive for their turn too. Like, there is downsides to it. All right. Hey. We played City yesterday. How's it going? Best of luck. Have fun. Did you get the Eternal decks in? All right, I don't love this hand. We have Petty Cash, which at least puts a transaction face up for the Logjam. Lou is going to aggress on us. Event Horizon is not something we want in our opening hand. At least with the Petty Cash, the Basalt has text, which is okay. This is probably a chain reaction deck, so getting cheap end runs on Centrals is probably better than spending 6 and then getting destroyed. I think we can mulligan this hand because we want to protect Centrals against Lou. If our top card draw, and mind you, we do draw with the Petty Cash, if it's like a Masquerova, we jam the Anthill, I think we're good. As much as I think Lou should be playing 2 copies of Pinhole. Hey, Hotel, popping in for work briefly to say how great it's been to have all the extended Metropole Grid content this week. Yo, hopefully your week as well. It's I'm glad you've been enjoying it. I know we mostly talk about Marvel Champions at this point, but it's really nice that you're dual track drifting just like I am. Let's go. Best of luck, have fun. I don't love this hand. I'm gonna keep it. I think it's playable. I pay 5 credits to make the runner lose 3 clicks and sort R&D. Yeah, I probably would. Happy Slay Spire 2. Hey Ma, are you playing yet? I think we're gonna try it later today. Okay, Gov sub. We want to keep our money up. So we start with the cash to draw a card. Okay, this hand is now bad. We'll do this on HQ and hope we never have to touch this. Next turn, we can go up to 10 if we just click for a credit here. So let's see what Lou does. We have a smaller agenda density, as much as we actually might not be that far off. Like we're probably on 10 because we added all the green mails. So we're on 10 instead of 12. That's clearly a difference, but R&D did not betray us in any of the last games. All right, this is going to be an ice destruction deck. We're face checking into this. It has a chance of hitting the Basalt or the Offworld. 1 trashable. I think we let this through just so if we government subsidy. Oh no, we can't let this through because it could be a chain reaction turn 1. We have to res this. Just popping away from work briefly to say, oh, see there, I read that. All right, clean getaway, that's influence. Okay. Run-based run stuff is just good in lieu, but I do imagine maybe that's more chain reaction support. I'm really worried about that card. And this thing can be boomeranged for chain reaction. It's hard to cheat around this one. It's hard to botch list it too. But yeah, the reason we didn't run is that you could do run chain reaction and it just destroys our ice. All right, we'll do it. They saw a mask. That's good. We can get our government contracts. I think we can just do mask into the anthill and hope that there's nothing here. If we res this, oh, we can hedge fund. Order lull. Don't at me. Still fine. We would have done the same thing. I keep playing Petty Cash click 1 and forgetting we have 4 clicks functionally, and then just doing a really bad turn. All right, hoping no trashable. We don't have that many in the deck. We did add a couple more upgrades. Nothing, so just access. Anthill is good. We break lock. So mask is seen here. Bad publicity doesn't seem super useful. I have no idea what Lou's Breaker Suite is. I do want to respect R&D. So I think we're going to start with the Vault. Let's start with the government subsidy because we don't need the bad publicity. And this card is, I wouldn't say nearly as good, but like, F it. Let's go. Okay, not good. We need to consider pushing their remote server next turn. So I think we're going to set this up. I don't know how you beat Logjam on the next turn, but we're going to push this in the remote server next turn, install advance. Maybe it was worth gov subbing this turn to set up, but I guess we'd play the bigger one. But we need to make sure we're pushing the remote server, not playing this like a fast advance deck. So having the 2 ice set up and the Anthill to give us up to a lot of credits seems good. And 2 types of ice is nice. This has a face check into the fermenter as well. We'll see. I'm assuming Botchless will be the first charge, which means Botchless Event Horizon, we do beat it. We don't beat it if it's cookbooked because you can run back. So far as Zwicky is fired, I think every turn. Getaway Archives, fine. Just a 3 credit econ card. Stealth, ooh, maybe on Corsair. Tungsten Tailor's pretty good. Logjam strength goes down. We break lock. Okay. We have the green mail. I think this is the window we have, so we will use the window and then grab back something disgusting next turn. We're not Zwickying this turn, unfortunately. We could have green mailed to Zwicky, but I want to use the remote server, especially when City is still setting up, because eventually the breakers will be down, and then especially giving bad pup to a Tungsten Tailor deck is something we're going to regret in the long term. If we drew a Myoshu here, would we play it? Probably not, but you could. And also Basalt Spire is perfect into Myoshu as long as you have a click left. Oh, tied into twinning. loaded HQ, let alone the bad publicity. So not amazing. So this didn't cost a lot. Hit a basalt, maybe. Unhappy about that. Okay, this does seem like a deck that's gonna be playing, what's it called, measured. Oh, Malapert was trashed. Okay, so that was why we they didn't see the agenda on top. I think we just score this. It's obviously very good. It gives us recursion. We're not on threat 4, so City doesn't have to be super careful. But with bad publicity, Taka and Tungsten running should be cheap, as much as Tungsten was only cheap when the ice is 1 to 0 strength or becomes 0 strength. Cool thing about this, it doesn't care how the ice becomes 0 strength, so it technically works with stuff like Corsair. Okay, so if we push the green mail here, we can score it, draw a card. We also can hope that we top deck a Seamless. If we had a Seamless in the bin, it'd be so easy to jam this. But if we jam the Basalt Spire here, install Advance, we go to 14. City is going to start. Needs to figure out how to deal with Event Horizon, Maskarovka, which in theory he can do. So the other option is we can just like government subsidy Valenchow, put the Basalt in the remote server. I like that. And just say the game is here. We'll see what pressure comes off of R&D, because the Maskarovka only gets broken for a couple credits. This is going to be a run turn because Trickster Taka, she is wanting to break stuff. If we top deck a Seamless is not enough. We didn't pre-advance. But we're keeping our credits up just to make measured something that City has to respect. We're not on it. But in theory, if we score this out and like have a click left and have a Myoshu, which is now a 1 of in the deck because we lost the Malapert, like maybe you should just naturally play 2 Myoshu because there's less ways to interact with it. As much as Lou deck probably is on Gourmand. Here's the question. How many measures are you on? Chain Reaction is actually on this board state, but I don't think you can do Chain Reaction if you're a twinning deck. Maybe you can. Yeah, this is the issue. It's like, if this is Seamless Advance, Myoshu, the game's over. Like, Weyland on big money is like kind of terrifying. I think Myoshu is hopefully not as legitimate as I think it is when it comes to competitive standard. I'm scared to play the second Vulture Fund if we don't have the Myoshu in hand. And now again, the Event Horizon actually makes you rerun 3 ice, which is a lot better. Okay, don't hit the green mail here. Doesn't actually change the game state. But this might be a Chain Reaction turn, because you can Chain Reaction to trash the agenda. This is scary if it's Chain Reaction. Spin, that gets trash for bad pub, draws a card, very bad for us, very good for Lou. I don't think you Chain Reaction with a daily cast on 6, right? Oh, I saw the Vulture Fund too. Okay, use the twinning. That's nice. Top decking Seamless would be so good because we can just use it. All right, so we can score the green mail, leave this here. That technically helps. We can also just play the hedge fund. Double Advance of Basalt. That's also fine. Again, we didn't see a Seamless yet, but a Seamless here would make this so easy. No Myoshu. But in theory here, you can do like Seamless Myoshu score. So if we top deck a Myoshu, it's not enough. We'd have to triple advance this card. I do not know how Anarch breaks a Valenchow. Buzzsaw doesn't do it easily, as much as it will be 5 strength, so you probably have to botch list this. And then Event Horizon has good text. We're jamming. So he's playing no nonsense Anarch though. Like the late game, we will be overrun. And the one bad publicity so far has given City like 4 credits. It's not been a great trade. Every Anarch breaker is Charm Crew. I mean, this deck maybe it's just Chisel, because like Chisel Tungsten works. I saw Tungsten, sorry, Trickster Taka and thought like, oh, that means we're on stealth. Not necessarily. You could be, but like Rising Tide just seems like it was maybe the thing we drew. Chisel Charm all the 6 strength ice, technically all the 7 strength ice, right? It's just that's a lot of installs. Pinhole? Ooh, we're checking what this is. I mean, okay. Is there a crim that can deal with this? Oh yeah, I imagine so. Your Unity is not bad once you have all your breakers down. Bad publicity goes far, but I mean, you can look. And again, when this gets stored or stolen, City has to play around measured. And the thing is, we're not playing measured, but City will play around as if we have measured, and we have to keep that in mind. We're playing around City, playing around measured. So we can be a bit more blasé. Yeah, Hermes helps a lot. Her double advancing on the table is really bad into Hermes. I think we can just score the green mail and leave the basalt here. On 14 credits, can City run this? Let's not find out. City has to win this turn. Probably has to win this turn. Taka, maybe we'll see on Lampades. I mean, I'd be surprised with how conventional this list looks. The thing with Lampades, like, unless you're running multiple copies of them. Okay, this is a good sweep. Did not charge the twinning last turn. That's actually really important for us. Okay, so getting the green mail to survive here is really important. We have 2 more green mails in the deck. Myoshu is now useless, but I think we'll try the 2 Myoshu in the future. Vulture Fund? Green mail? Fuck. No. Maybe we should have just scored the green mail and say you can't run this remote server. I can't tell how good this remote server is. My guess is Valenchow Event Horizon is good, but money does beat Valenchow. Especially when we res all this stuff, we probably won't have money. We can also just use Basalt to draw 2 cards if we need to go fast there. And City now has the money to interact with measured favorably. Could Basalt increase density in hand before the run? Yeah, actually, maybe that was worth it. Just to like pull cards there. I mean, that's annoying. I think we just go for it. Okay, I think Event Horizon will be good. I think we just do Event Horizon on server 1. Vulture Fun Offworld. Oh, draw a card. Like, beat this. I think City knows we don't have like the triple measured, which would have won there. Enjoy your bagels, Dan. Pull back Antil to bluff. We don't need to bluff. It's not a bluff because it's face up. In theory, the bluff is it the bluff, right? With 2 clicks left, we win here. With 1 click left, we win. City did not play around Event Horizon. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you have to remember there's a border control in the format. You cannot run last click. That always feels so painful. It's just not possible to run last click. Good game. Hey, GG. All right. We could have had a Myoshu in hand there and actually could have maybe made a difference. So I'm going to trade the Malapert for Myoshu and just be more straightforward. Thanks for the game. Pretty straightforward affair there. Drop 1 unknown card from R&D. Yeah, we probably should have done it there to the Lou anyways, because without a click left, it's not like City can run archives to punish us for not returning an agenda. Hey, cheers. So yeah, we definitely should have done it there to pad HQ because we're going to use them proactively anyways. All right, let's just put the Myoshu back in the deck because it's the card that I want to play more than I want to play Malapert. Myoshu. Let's go. So far, so good. Just jam. Got Seamlesses, got Hollowmans, got border controls. What else do you need? Was the logjam good? No. Were the Event Horizons good? Actually, really good, yeah. Yo, Adori sucks. Yeah, I know. You technically could beat that remote server. Are you on Chain Reaction City? Because I didn't want to run on res on HQ, but like I'm playing around Chain Reaction in lieu. So if I don't res on HQ and I lose my HQ ice, I mean, it's not great. Maybe it's okay, but I think you already ran R&D at that point. I can't tell. How do you think about constructing a runner that deals well with this? Putting on some central pressure that really matters is important. Hermes is really important because we can't install double advance. So like good stuff Crim can just deal with it. Hush, mind you, beats a lot of the Weyland ice. The advanceable stuff, it beats Event Horizon. That stuff's kind of cool. Oh, the sand seems fine. But I do think like solid pressure matters because we're trying to avoid pressure and do our game plan. You need to just be able to deal with the remote server. Propeller's very, very, very good. Thanks, you too. Okay, we have Vic Ice, so we can put Valenchow on HQ. We have KPI, which gives us I guess a credit and a card draw. Our remote server, we mask Antil sooner than later. Like if we had 1 petty cash in this hand or a hedge fund, this would be golden. Nailed it. Okay, sick. So we can't do everything on turn 1. We'll start with the petty cash. Nice. So we can just do HQ R&D to stop the DreamNet. Ideally, we play Gov Sub next turn, so we don't have to do this, or more accurately, we don't have to res this because next turn we'll be on 9. If we click for a credit, we could go to 10 and Gov Sub on turn 2. I don't think we res this, because if we res this, we go down to 4 credits and we can't gov sub. So we're just gonna let a credit go through. It might be worth resing it. If we didn't have the gov sub, we'd probably res this. We only have 10 agendas and 42, so we just have to remember they know what we saw. Casts, nice. Last click draw. Ordering there can always be different. All right, so they saw BOAC. Okay, so gov sub, we probably don't need to play this turn. We could do mask Antil for the remote server. I have to remember we have a 3rd click. So we could do credit mask remote server and just say like do something about it. I don't want to play gov sub here because it shouldn't be that hard to play it next turn. And we want to get this wiki draw as much as Antil will draw us more cards. So we could have played that there if we want to be a bit more aggressive, especially because with Valenchow, the text actually on our credit pool, the credit pool text matters. They know we're on BOAC, that like this is the Chekhov's gun or like the Kuleshov effect. When they see cards like this, it impacts how they run. We have to know that they know this card. And if they know this card, they will slow down a wee bit. At least until they have programs. Nice. Antil. Okay, sick. This Antil, we're going to set up a Masquerade Event Horizon server, I assume. So let's start with the gov sub for big money. Okay, Vulture Fund is a bit scary for a criminal. We could put a second ice on HQ so we don't get Boomerang transferred. I do think putting an ice on Archives also makes sense because Vic wants to run all of them. So I think we're just going to play more money this turn because we're going to jam next turn. So we'll set up the jam server. We can just put this on Archives just so we don't have a DreamNet server. We've played 1 clean getaway. I think it's more responsible to put this on HQ. And then I was going to say hedge fund last click, but we didn't get there. It's fine. I just don't want to get transfer into Boomerang, which actually will slow the game down a fair bit. It's like we could put a better piece of ice on Archives. This is not it. And I'm actually kind of scared to play the Vulture Fund because I don't know how fast this deck is. Okay, chaining markets, good money, big money beats Valenchow. Kurapir early means BOAC is scary, but this remote server is not super safe. That's a draw. That's a draw and a half. Oh, we might have wanted to KPI this ice in hindsight. I think we actually KPI this hand because this hand is not it. Hey, Medi. So I'll start with the KPI. In theory, you want to do the KPI credits first to draw a card sooner than you want to do anything else. Because if you shuffle the card back in and draw, it's bad. So I think we do 2 credits first to draw a card. Then we'll draw a card and shuffle the BOAC. Or sorry, the Basalt. Okay, Kurapir means the server they can run. We did draw another BOAC before anything, so we played a transaction. So we can do server 1, server 1. Oh, sorry. Server 1, server 2. We could res this and install something else, but I think it's okay. This might keep them busy. There's the DreamNet. Boomerang's on HQ. That's acceptable. I think we res the BOAC for all our money. They saw this. You're allowed to res it. This is going to trash a Kurapira. It's going to trash a open market, I think. So we'll trash a program. We'll trash a resource. I think it's the open market. Like, it's not going to be that easy for them to run with DreamNet. And them losing 5 credits is a bit more impactful. Obviously, we're bankrupt, but we have a hedge fund. They can no longer charge the server easily, too, and the Boomerang is now dead. They did see this. And maybe some people think we won't res this for 14. We have the money to be able to res this for 14, especially when you trash a criminal breaker. That exact play is what we played around, right? That is why we resed. We double iced HQ. Boomerang into transfer is something you need to respect. Generally, your first couple turns is don't get transferred, and then your next couple turns is don't get Boomerang transferred. So it's like one of the easiest ways you can make criminal not run over you. If we res this, we go down to 0. We go down to, sorry, 2, 3, then 5. We go up to 2. They lose 2. It doesn't end the run. We don't res this. We want a hedge fund. We could Spin Doctor to draw different cards here, but I don't think we care. They have a lot of money. Okay, hedge fund for sure. We can put an Afshar on Archives. That seems fine. We just want to find something that allows us to advance this off-world office. We could probably sneak a single advance in there. This server costs us 7 to res, so they might pressure us. If we score this, we're like pretty happy. It's really good text, and it fires Zwicky. I think we can do advanced install ice. We go down to 8. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, this is a bit too aggressive. If they have tricks here, it gets us. Like a Boomerang maybe gets us. Hey, Komodo, full BOAC face check is one of the squeeze sides of the game. I know. From you, I totally agree. There's a revolver. I guess we're going for a transfer play. Nice. Okay, cool. So this is still expensive. 1 and 4 is pretty good odds. We res the Valen Chow. It's resed. They don't have a what's it called yet. And the last click, they have to clear the tag. So I don't think they swing the remote server. And on 5 credits, the remote server is still fine for us. I don't think we res the Valen Chow. We'll overinstall it. Just don't hit the... I have to hit the Basalt. It's not that bad. They hit the Basalt. It's not the end of the world. Because here we can still score the off-world. Unless they want to float a tag. That was the good hit for sure. But the hedge fund back is actually like impactful. With the off-world on the table, less so. So good pressure from them, especially because we haven't scored anything. No float tag. Makes sense. All right, so we're going to try and Myoshu. We will draw a card here because we can always discard a card. I don't think we need the Vulture Fund with this hand. We might res the Valen Chow here. Let's see if they're on 2 killers or fractors. I was tempted to run that. Yeah, I can keep. Yeah. It's a good fork. I don't want to say that they couldn't get in. Okay, it's a Spin Doctor. We probably pop this so they don't Dream Net. Yeah, especially because we have the Holloman. That's good. So we'll shuffle back. We're not on what's it called? We're not on KPI gets better as the game goes longer. We're not on Plutus, so we don't have to keep stuff in archives. So Event Horizon is broken. Maskarovka they had to break twice. So we beat single Boomerang. The question is if they're on 2 Maskarovkas. They've played 2 transfers, 2 bravados. I mean, this hand wants us to push. KPI would have been a good draw here. I guess we start with a hedge fund. It's a bit too much. Okay. So 20 credits is a lot. Valen Chow is no longer that good. Posted the third part of my Vantage Point article series today. Does the narrative change? How's it different? Because already part 1 and part 2 are pretty different. I'm assuming part 3 is different as well. So we can do Spin Doctor Offworld and Remote Server. That puts us off the Myoshu plan, which is something we want. So we can also just manage our hand and get rid of the Offworlds. We only have 2 more Basalts though, so Myoshu might be like a bit of a dream unless we set up with Green Mail, which actually works. So they need to be able to break the Event Horizon, which they do. They need to break Maskarovka. So I think we make the server better. I thought we were going to be able to play an operation there. That's fine. This costs 4 and uses all their bullets. Clean getaway. This is a Valen Chow. So if we res this, we go down to, we lose 3. We go down to 8. They go down to 15. We give them a bad publicity. There is 2 agendas in archives. It's not a massive run. It does give DreamNet, but it's going to give DreamNet no matter what. I think we just let this through. A bit more optimistic, positive. Talking about Weyland, Jateki, and NPN. Oh, very cool. They have a lot of money, and that's bad because Valen Chow is bad if they have money. I think at some point we should overinstall the Valen Chow with just Maskarovka because maybe they don't have a Fractor anymore. Maybe we should slow down, put the Maskarovka on R&D. Oh, Rotary. Okay, so now we really have to put on R&D. They didn't run the server, so we could have double installed. Valentina? Did they have a tag? No, they just got credits. Okay, they know we have a logjam. So we'll start with the hedge fund to get options. Okay, Green Mail is good. We can score that next turn because they're not on Hermes, so we don't actually care about their text. We can put this in server 1 and use it, and then I think we'll just mask R&D. HQ is actually a pretty good run here, so we probably did want to... Yeah, this is wrong. I think we wanted to get another ice here. Yeah, this is really wrong because Rotary sees half her hand. We'll have to Spin Doctor here. Is it necessary to overinstall the Valen Chow? If you never res it, the runner has to decide to overinstall the Boomer. Yeah, but they just will. The thing is, like, this card gets worse the longer the game goes on, depending on the credit threshold. So I think we're just gonna res the Spin Doctor here to decide what to do. Fuck. We can't lose on this run. But I think this is, yeah, this Maskarovka should be there. Oof. Oof. Oh, that's bad. Now we can lose to any cheesy Rotary access. That's so bad. Okay. Yeah. Let's feel good. So I think we just Green Mail. They think they cleared our hand up. They did. Hashtag winnable. It is winnable. We now have to stick the last 3-2 or 4-2 and Myoshu. So like Offworld Office and the remote server might get us there. Stay out. Yeah, I think overinstalling this means that line doesn't happen. That was way better than this Maskarovka here. The fact that they're not breaking ice means that they're keeping their money, and them keeping their money is really important because then they have their money. Obvious statement, but if they keep their money, Valenciat doesn't have tax. Jesus. I think we have to either dump this or push it. No matter what the agenda they get wins. We do need Myoshu still to win. We'll start with the hedge fund and see what happens. Actually, that's not true because we could do install advance. BOAC now has text because they're at a revolver. They're probably on 2 revolvers if they're on revolver. But they have to break Maskarovka twice. My guess is we just basalt. Yeah, Holloman means we can get 5 advancements. I think we do basalt advance. The issue is like we probably won't have enough money to score it. Because like I want Myoshu to matter, but it hasn't so far. If we install advance, we get on to 13. We res BOAC for free. Yeah, and that's a cool thing. Is like green mails don't matter if we can BOAC Myoshu. I think we'll do it. Oh, hold on. There's an obvious issue here. So we have to put this back, and I think we'll just put back... Vulture Fund might be correct, because the game might be over if they don't have breakers, but I'll just do the hedge fund. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, so if we do Holloman advance, 7, that's 7 credits, 8 credits, so we need 18 credits. So we can't win this turn. At least with Myoshu. Pretty Mary, so they're going to play Iru, so we have to ice up R&D archives. Wait, whoa. Do we win? Okay, I think we just win in 2 turns. I think we just score out this and throw out the green mail. There's no way we can get clickless 4 credits here. Yeah, we can't score the green mail here, but it's safe in hand. The only thing we lose to with the Pretty Mary is like they could sweep HQ. So I want to discard the green mail. They could install a decoder, install Pretty Mary, run R&D. We could lose to that. Oh, for sure. We can also put the green mail in the remote server, but the remote server is not safe because we can only res one of these ice functionally. Oh, actually, that's not true. We could res the BOAC and the mask. Maybe it's safer in the remote server. But like we can just click for credit discard, so then he has to run archives, then run HQ. And then we can just grab it with basalt. Like that's probably better. The thing is like I want to discard it, but like maybe we use a basalt counter here so we can ice archives and then still discard it. Like that might actually be correct because we lose to Iru. I think the thing we lose to is Iru. So I think we want to be able to discard a card here while still installing. So this is weird. To Myoshu, that's fine. So we'll add back an hedge fund to keep things honest. And then I think we put a logjam in archives. And then we discard this so that we can grab it back. So now to steal this green mail, you have to run archives, then run HQ. Unless the thing defeats us. I actually like that play a lot better. Okay, it looks like we're fine. Good game. Maybe we could push the remote server. They haven't run the remote server once. I think they think it's fractors. So this doesn't matter what we do. We haven't drawn a seamless, have we? In a way that matters. Yeah, but using archives as a second hand is quite nice. GG, because then we can make it a 1 in 6. Hey, thanks for the game. Yeah, brutal BOAC. Very, very bad face check. And they could have seen that coming. It's just like, no, there wasn't. But oh, no way. Oh, no way. Beans. Yeah, so they were only 1 fractor. Yeah. They might need to play a bit more safe if that's the case, especially because they saw the BOAC. But I think a lot of people don't see people resing a BOAC for 14. But like if it hits a Maskarovka, it's worth it. Sorry, if it hits a Kurupir. Yeah. The turn you swept HQ, I definitely needed to replace the boomeranged ice instead of R&D. That was on me. Yeah, that turn was really, really bad swing turn. Actually, was the agenda on top? No, it was a seamless launch, so we were fine. Seemed okay. Yeah, good lizard. Yeah. Hey, cheers. So far this has been good. I forgot BOS Century. So yeah, I knew you saw it. Yeah. I thought you thought I wouldn't pay 14. Hey, cheers. So far we haven't fired Myoshu once, and like our deck, it's good that our deck works without Myoshu. I just really want to fire Myoshu in a game and have it be the way that we win. You notice our opponents, like City was talking about the Myoshu. Like even if it doesn't do anything, people have to play around it, especially when you're on like 18 credits. Hey, it's Peter again. Now we're on a different deck. This is gonna be Vic again. Yeah, 46 cards. Okay. Opening hand, don't love it. No operations. 2 BOX. Well, that's much better. How many successful runs should a good runner be able to get into this deck? That's a good question, and it depends on where the runs are. This deck, so on average, most decks need about 18 successful runs on centrals. And that is very abstract because it doesn't think about context. Hey. So right, for instance, if the corp is drawn like for a couple turns and there's no agendas, the run on HQ is a very high value run, not just like seeing random cards on top of R&D. All that being said, I don't 100% know. We do have to score in a remote server. So if you can contest a remote server, we lose the game. That's very important. If we contest the remote server, we 100% always lose the game. And so you probably want to be able to contest a remote server more than put on R&D pressure. That's at least my read on it. This is where Event Horizon is way worse than the other thing, than border control, because we can't jam an antilt behind it easily. I think we just have to like hunker down, click for 2. So maybe we can gov sub next turn. There's just no aggressive play here. If this was a Maskarovka, we'd push. 7 to 18 random accesses wins runner 50% of the time. Yes. Yeah. Swiss Miss has evolved. I was thinking about what role poetry has within HP as a corporation from a lower point of view. Why does the company that makes Bioroids want a fashion corp? Oh, well, because HP is meant to be like a lot of different things, right? I do think the fashion on the tech side is kind of important. That is interesting, though. I take it that's not part of the article today, huh? So Vic Mulligan looks like no DreamNet, so we're just ghettoing R&D. We have 9 agendas and 43. Stealing a Basalt there is like emotionally devastating with no archives. That's another big reason we always want to play an operation on turn 1. Little under tax. 11 credits, good. Let's see what they see. They see a Vulture Fund. We have to play it. All right, we've got a spin. We can just do until event. That seems fine. I mean, not fine, especially with bad pub, but like, it's the play we have. Dress up cosmetics are the most robot thing ever. Day 3 ice plus icebreaker, that means hundreds of credits. Not hundreds. If you can tell where you think the agenda is, that's better for you. If you have pinhole to shut down like Holloman's or check the ice, that's better for you. It's a lot of different things. It's hard to express the number in just straight numbers. What I would recommend is playing a lot of games and seeing at the end on the JNet screen how many credits you actually play. If you ask me how many credits does the average runner need to win a game, I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know that heuristic. My heuristic is half your deck should be economy and or card draw, which is usually economy. Usually well-tuned decks, about half the deck is econ. This is a really good bravado. I don't think we can afford to res here. Oh no, we can still gov sub after it. But this is just like pay 2 credits because of bad pub and then play 1 credit. This is where Event Horizon's a lot worse. This still does something, so we'll do it. Maybe that's how Bass got the hat. Very funny. So the first every team doesn't matter. They'll trash an installed program. It's an interesting narrative space that I wish we see a little more with Netrunner's Corpse. Oh, for what it's worth, Veronica, like there is a precedent to this. Like there was a lot of fashion stuff explored, particularly in the Mumbat cycle, if you want to dive deeper into it. So things like Lakshmi Smart Fabrics, the walkway, the runway card. There is a bunch of it. Where did the bad pub come from? We played a Vulture Fund this turn. Using the Bioroids as perfect untable beauty standards is pretty cool. Also making Bioroids fashionable as a use and part of the marketing. Yeah, you're right. Actually, the fashionability of Bioroids has been really important. All right, let's see if R&D blows us open. Just ruins the game. Hannah, cool. That's good against Event Horizon. Okay, we're not going to do a second one. We'll start with the gov sub. You generally try and draw earlier. We can just keep Peter running this remote server, or we can try and find something more actionable to jam, but we definitely need an end the run on R&D and on server 1. So HQ doesn't get open, we get transferred. So we'll try and look for ice. Don't got it. So we're going to be able to petty cash next turn. We could do it clicklessly, which might be better. So that would mean we just click for a credit, or we could just gov sub here and go to 20. It's surprising we didn't find ice here, but now if we didn't find ice, I guess the density of agendas is higher. The density of ice is higher. And this spin doctor is going to be challenged for Hannah for free, which, I mean, whatever. So I'll just play this gov sub and we might petty cash next turn. Ideally, I actually like playing this more out of the bin because clickless 2 in a draw is better. But 2 credits on it, like going to 20 to 22 doesn't matter. Going from 20 to 22 clicklessly is way better. We might want to click for a credit there. Maybe that's a fallacy. HB is about erasing the barrier between desire and execution. That's a good sentence. It frees your time for luxury by enabling a new kind of slavery. Ooh. I don't think there's a reason for Peter not to hand us Spin Doctor. The only thing is we can make him pay 1 credit. I think we would. I think I'd rather make him pay 1 credit than shuffle these cards back. Like it's half off, which is nice, but every credit matters. There you go. Yeah, if you can pay. 96. I just read that. I just looked at the people watching and I read it as if it was a JNet stat. I was like, why did I say 96? Was this 96 over there? Oh, that's really funny. All right, if this like blows us open to a transfer, like that's what Hermes does. There's 9 agendas and 37, so huge. We're so skilled, very skilled there. Maybe that's a reason why we should shuffle Spin Doctor to get the density up. But if that hits an agenda, HQ gets open and Peter's probably sitting on a transfer. Dream Net with Hannah makes a lot of sense too, and I do think Hermes is way more impactful than Rotary. All right, Shibboleth, nice. Can't get through HQ. It's going to cost you. I do want the face check on HQ sooner than later so we can get this rezzed. Okay, seamless. I guess we'll start here. We have to keep drawing. I do not like this at all. This is quite bad. We have 15 ice in the deck. Last click draw. I think we have to do it because I don't think we're going to need this anytime soon. Is day 3 of the news that Andre's like reading Reddit like his JNet stats? Things are I have my YouTube open there and it tells me graphs and stuff. I look over mostly to make sure that things are good because it keeps giving me this yellow error message that my keyframe frequencing is not right. And like, I'm convinced that's not right, but I think YouTube knows more than what I'm talking about. Yep, that might keep him in check as much as BOAC HQ turn 1 is like a pretty cursed install as much as we did mulligan. What did you take out for Holloman? Oh, so Preston, this is a totally different version. Our first version of it was doing pretty well, the fast advance version. We're now on a version that has big money, but needs to score in a remote server standard style with Holloman and Seamless so that we can play a Myoshu. So far we've won games, but we haven't Myoshu'd once. But this is a different version of the list. It's no fast advance. It's all about like forward momentum. Oh, wow. They didn't touch anything. Sick. I think you pushed behind the BOAC. Yeah, I think we do now. Yeah, we probably could have now. Well, now we do, right? So we'll petty cash. We actually could have KPI'd instead of petty cash. That's fine. So we could do off-world Holloman BOAC and then have choices. Let's see what happens here. The issue is like this is really bad into Hermes. At least that's why we want to make this a 50-50. But this is bad into Hermes a couple ways because I think with Hermes you actually bounce the ice. So fun and so toxic. I mean, now we're talking. Yeah, DreamNet, if this hits an agenda, like I just want a piece of ice here. If this hits an agenda, Hermes like ruins the whole game. Just like we have been for the last 3 turns. Oh man, we're lucky. Like straight lucky. Okay. Charging the twinning. Could have done that in the other order. 9 cards in hand. They know we have a flywheel, which won't keep them out, but it's good enough. The cool thing here is if we Hollowman this, we actually do get to have a click left to repair. So we'll get, and we draw a card, which is fine. We can throw out the petty cash. Regenesis Wage Worker Myoshu deck scoring 6 points in a single turn. That's gross. That's gross. All right, that's fine. That actually is the least impactful thing. We can now put BOAC on R&D, which is like kind of funny. They'll expect it to be a flywheel. So we have to discard 1 card here. That's fine. We'll put this on R&D. And we'll throw out the card that doesn't matter. We actually could have played KPI instead of advancing, which would have got a card out of our hand. Because we're discarding petty cash is not that big of a deal. But you always could play KPI there to get the advancement. I always forget about that. The tempo advancement is actually not bad. Especially because you can get a tempo advancement while installing ice. The thing is, like, I don't mind discarding this because we need to go fast here. And this is much faster in the bin. 4 credits on a card draw. And then ideally, whatever we top deck, a Myoshu and a 5-3 and we go. Even a 2-1 will be good here. We have to play around transfer, but actually we don't because we want this to be rezzed. And if they boomerang transfer, like the credits don't matter. Our hand is clean. I actually want them to dump and twinning into HQ. And it's been like, hey, we've drawn 20 cards. We've seen 1 agenda so far. They probably should be trying to twinning HQ here. Hear me out, 3x grubber and tithe in the deck is named Zwicky figures. I mean, there must be more hands we can put in there, but I'm into it. Pinhole Holloman, nice, proactive. I don't mind that. They need to get cards out of hand. Usually you want to surprise the Holloman, but 1 credit Holloman trash is good. We still have double seamless, so like we can still seamless. We have to pre-advance the 5/3. This is what I mean, like anti-fast events tech. Do you want to play the new card or do you want to play Hermes? Like the Hermes seems so much better than the new 1 influence 2 cost card. Because if we like fast events here, things are bad. Oh yeah, Vig for sure, Vig for sure, Vig for sure. That's a good ratio of hands to card. This is scary. They don't have a Fractor yet. We have 4 barriers in the deck. Another Event Horizon. I mean, that's something. I think we'll start with the Petty Cash just to keep going. Okay, we can put Spin Doctor in the remote server to force interaction. That probably just forces them to dump a 20 on R&D. So this might be the turn. Like the KPI is good next turn because it gives us a Zwicky, but the Spin Doctor will give us a Zwicky anyways. So I think with the KPI, we could always draw. They're on 4 credits with bad pub. So BOAC remote server draw. I think we could KP. What do we do here? I'm scared about R&D. I haven't seen a flywheel flyer at all this week so far. It should. But I think maybe we put like a BOAC on server 1 and we put the Spin Doctor in it. I just don't think they bite because their money's not good enough and they know we're on BOAC, or we know that they're playing around BOAC because they like looked it up. But the KPI here, we've already done this Zwicky text. I think we could definitely draw and shuffle away the flywheel. So I guess we'll start there. No, we'll shuffle away the Spin Doctor. Let's do that. Yoshi's 100% getting banned before Worlds. Too easy to jump from 1 to 7 points. I don't think it's easy to jump from 1 to 7 points. It's easy to jump from 2 to 7 or from 3 to 7. I do think it's a card I could see being banned because it just does, it's gross. Like it doesn't allow you to play better Netrunner. But 1 to 7 is a bit much. I don't think that's super possible actually. Or at least with the Worlds where it's too easy, right? It seems like Disneyland. Nice. Okay, cool. We get to res this ice. It's a bravado. They might swipe the twinning into this. We just want to be able to get this resed. Because this option is not great. Not only does they get boomeranged, but they have no bad pup to lose. But we would love for them to dunk the twinning into this. I guess they can't charge the twinning. They need to find Chesva. One day I'll play Iswag Myoshu scoring Regenesis. That is the play. I just think that's probably going to be a bit inconsistent. I think they could have choose not the boomerang and broke this with Shibboleth to keep the bad pub. It pins down the boomerang, so maybe that suggests there's another boomerang in hand. They can lose no credits. The one upgrade that grabs anything along with the I8 green mail means you only need 2. Yeah, but you need to get a 3-pointer first and then the green mail, and it has to sit in the server. Like, that is gross. You're right, Malapert, but there's more avenues to deal with it. But you're right. The gross thing is that an unadvanced card becomes a 3-pointer. You do need credits, but like green mail means you need fewer credits than you think you do because it gives you 2 when you come back. So you only need 8 more credits. We might as well res spin here because we're going to res it anyways and we could shuffle cards back. We don't have what we need. His money's a bit better here. Revolver does beat the server. There's a world where we shuffle back KPIs because they're actually really good draws here, but we won't. All right, let's just tax out the thing. Spin Doctor KPI, I think. So we'll do server 1, server 1. We still get blown out by Hermes, but hey, the game changes. We do not, or whatever. Oh, actually, we can't afford to res this BOAC without sacrificing the off-off. This might be a check we can't cash. I just think they'll be scared of this on run R&D. They did dump the twinning, which is good because they can't really charge it this turn. The thing is, like, Myoshu seems bad, and then you realize like green mill gives you money, off-world gives you money. I've done it a few times in BTL. You don't have to have a problem with money. I think if you do it on JNet Casual and BTL, it's very different than doing it like at a competitive tournament, but I hear you. This is a huge 50-50, but we have Seamless, so it's not super important. Okay, 50-50. Sacrifice gets you 4 credits every turn? No, that's not how it works in BTL, because it's only if you advance a card without an advancement. Unless you're using it every turn, it only gives you 3 credits a turn. I think you're doing BTL wrong. Because BTL is not the first time you advance a card, it's the first time you advance a card with no advancements on it. So it should not, at least in a way that's scoring the game. You can trash token? Oh, sure, but then they don't run, right? And if you do that, yeah. Ooh, Waken Plant? That's scary. This is a good Afshar, though. Bad Pup to break, lose 2. So now they're going to be able to see a lot on R&D, or maybe more next turn. Okay, no Myoshu. You don't really have 2 easy points. I mean, a lot of the agendas are like that, yeah. Let's haul him in, score, repair with Hermes, see what happens. Now we want a Myoshu off a green mail, but we haven't seen one of those. We'll draw a card for sure. Oh, it's scary. Why don't they just run the sacrifice? Yeah, there's a lot of questions. I'm assuming because they can't. But like in that matchup, the fact that it's a face-up agenda is impactful. The thing is like they can't deal with the Master Chef's vote. I'm assuming like that's the thing is, sorry, the deck that you're describing could also just be a what's it called, a clearinghouse deck. And like, that's the same sort of idea. I think if you build Hyper Glacier and say you can't run their mode server like 3 turns in a row, you're right, you can't do that. But I don't think Myoshu is a massive change if you play that slow. But it probably will see play in those Hyper Glacier decks for sure. Okay, we have a click left. They can see 3 on R&D, they have Hermes. We can just put this in the server and say, what are you going to do on 6 credits? If they steal it, it's not the end of the world. If they don't steal it, we win. Yeah, I mean, Jam Basalt and Hope is the best. It does look like they're tunneling on Centrals a bit more than the remote server. Especially because they can't break a barrier, so they might not be, look at this R&D, double flywheel is so funny. But they might not be able to run this. Oh, transfer, that's okay. We don't mind. One scored Basalt into double Myoshu is probably more reasonable. That upgrade, you only need 1 hand. The fact that we haven't scored a Basalt first and we haven't been able to grab a Myoshu late game is like unfortunate. We're on Myoshu Lockmanos. Just like remote server. We haven't fired Myoshu once, but we haven't needed to. This turn, we could lose to Hermes, but Peter probably clears a tag. But yeah, we're like, hopefully 3 cards doesn't Hermes. I don't know if you could run last click here. Because like a barrier ends the run, but that's not a bad face check. This deck is on Malapert. No, we cut a Malapert because it got trashed on game 1 and played 2 Myoshis instead. I think Malapert is totally reasonable. We did end up cutting 1. And maybe the second Myoshu is less good than the first Malapert. All right, good game. Very unimpactful, but we luckily drew weird, but not terribly. Like very, very straightforward. They should have ran their remote server. They were just struggling to get their curb here. Hey, good game. We had Seamlesses there, so even if you pinhole the Hollow Man, thanks for the game. Thanks, you too. You do get there. 1 Kuru. What ice on server 1? It was all sentries for a bit. Rezal. Oh, we have to wait for Hermes. It was Event Horizon. Bioac. Event Horizon. Do we run Tranquility? No, it's a lot of influence. I don't think it makes that much sense with Zwicky, because Zwicky you already have that sort of text built in, but in a way that you can fire every turn more consistently. Yeah, the Event Horizon BOAC server is actually kind of rude, because if you want to revolver this, and you can pay for it, you're going to run out of bullets on the second BOAC. Yeah. I got so lucky that R&D held to Hermes for the first couple turns. Like, you could have just crushed my early game. Yeah, we got so lucky that instead. How do you feel about the runner core balance? I have no idea, John. Most of these questions like will be answered by going to a competitive tournament. Trying to figure out like what runner core balance is on JNet, let alone JNet casual, is like nearly impossible because everyone's doing something different. Like we're playing against people who are playing the game because it's fun and they're trying new cards and they're having a good time. And then there's players who are trying to break the meta. And like I haven't played against AUCO, right? Like that's the thing. We haven't played against AUCO. We haven't played against Epiphany. We haven't played against LEO. We haven't played against what we assume to be the best decks. So I have no idea. So far, from what I've tried, by forcing too many new cards in a deck, the answer has been bad. But just like playing old consistent stuff and like updating it and having new interesting tools has been good. That has been good. Now super safe. Everything has gone straight into the remote. I do think so. I do agree that Myoshu seems like a card that should have had a trash cost. As much as like Malapert will still beat that. But it gives you a way to interact with it. Ideally, your way is to make sure the corp doesn't have 10 credits, but I do think at some points you can't stop that. Hey, cheers. Hey, thank you. That's very kind. We've been streaming for 2 hours 43. Okay, so we've done 3 games with this. We've done 3 games with the last one. Shame we haven't played a Myoshu, but that at least proves that maybe the slot is not necessary as much as I think it's good. For our last flight of Zwicky, let's go ahead and try and build like Modernism and add some like tag kill to the deck, measure response, end of line, that sort of stuff. I was not up to live time on the stream. Oh, Lockmano, sorry. There's no way for us to know. That's the weird thing. Yeah, unfortunately. When Offworld goes you 7 credits, it's hard to prevent them from winning from 3 points. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Offworld Office is gross. It's gross that it makes the Myoshu, like the text on Myoshu, not that big of an ask. So like scoring a 5-3, jamming the Offworld and having it, it's like totally doable. We can't consistently get it, let alone doesn't seem like we consistently need to get it. At least, again, JNet casual. All right, last chance. We're going to do some Zwicky Modernism. So we want to rush, but we also want damage to matter. So that's fun because we can have a fun agenda suite here. So above the laws, we'll definitely play Sacrifice Zone Expansion because it's very much a Modernism coded card. So when we advance this, we get 3 credits, and if the runner runs, they lose cards from hand, which is what we care about. I'm assuming we're going to play like 2 Oppos, 2 Bites, and have that be a thing we're doing. We're going to play Green Mails because it gets us to points, and it means we can run some bad face checks on the BOX. And then everything else will probably make sense around this. I'm assuming we'll play like 2 Measureds and 2 End of Lines. Maybe that's not enough. Single End of Line doesn't do it, so like there's a reason you want to play 2. I think also there's a chance that you could consider playing Unleash because you have BOX, and that might be worth it. Maybe we'll try it because I don't know what we're spending our influence on besides like good transactions. Agenda suite. What else are we doing here? So 2-2-2 means, 2-1-2 means like we could play 1 3-pointer, 1 or 2 3-pointers. Basalt Spire is really good in this sort of deck because it gets your measures back, let alone your other stuff. This means we're on 3 agenda points, so we could just do this and play 10 agendas and be fine. Corp have 10 credits and scoring a 5-3 with a click to spare is not nothing except for off-off. Yeah, it's not nothing, but I think you want to do it on the smaller agendas. Like score 5-3 first, which does generally mean scoring your other cards later is easier. Because like scoring a Basalt first helps a lot. Let Them Dream. I think we have to do the math. Actually, let's do the math whether Let Them Dream makes sense in this deck. Because say that we put 3 Let Them Dreams, and then we have to do like, maybe we have to do something like this, which is, hold on. Say that we do this. No, that's not right. Say that we do this. Let's see if this is better than the other thing. So just hold on. Let me get a second to run my script. CD. Hold on. Okay, let's go. One of these buttons should work. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do a comparison. So we'll do, we'll do comparison. So we'll compare 2 decks. Let me just move this so you can see the deck, the agenda suite behind it. We'll try that, I guess. So this does a comparison. We'll do 2 comparisons. We'll compare this deck, which is on 11 agendas. We're on 1 3-pointer. We're on how many 2-pointers? Most of them, right? 2, 3, 6, 7. And then we're on 3. We've done this math before. No GFIs, which I should probably remove that. 3 Let Them Dreams. Nomad Dash, we'll do 500,000. Again, please do not use this without concerns that this is a bit of an approximation in a lot of different ways. And then say that we're going to do the other version of the deck. The other version of the deck was 2 Basalt Spires, no Let Them Dreams, 3 Basalt Spires. Let's try this. So we're still on 49. We're on 3-4-3. Let's see what the math is. With the MR, step 1 score Basalt has already been scary to deal with, not since sure Myoshu actually changes that. No, it doesn't really. So the first one is a lot better. The second one is 17 accesses, which is average to low. Often the runner wins on 4 agendas, which is not nothing. That's a bit. Sometimes they win on 3 agendas. As soon as we go to the other Let Them Dream version, while we have more agendas overall, that's a very big difference. Like more than half of the games, the runner has to steal 5 to 6 agendas. I'm assuming for Modernism, that's actually pretty valuable because the more agendas, the more oppos, the more measured response forks you have. And only in 4% of the time does a runner win on 3 agendas. Let Them Dream is a messed up card. Let's be clear. Like, it's very, very, very good. And this is definitely supporting it. Now, the difference is like the texture of the deck is different. Like Basalt Spires might be more relevant as soon as turn 1. Maybe we have too many agendas to jam, but keep that in mind. And we also, with only one 3-pointer in the 1-7-3 version, if we ever score one of these and bottom the 5-3, it's like impossible for the runner to win, right? Like, imagine we play this deck. I think we can do one where we do an override. I think it's O. This is not going to be a good example, but imagine this. Say that we draw through 10 cards of the deck. So it's a 39 card deck, technically a 38 card deck. We have no 3-pointers because we've bottomed it. We have scored one of our 7-pointers. So there's 6 left in the game and 3 1-pointers. Okay, I don't know what the thing is for manual override. There's a way to do this so the math doesn't have to math, but I imagine that number is actually really, really high. If you want to simulate the scoring, Let Them Dream and bottoming a 5-3 in the top. Anyways, cool. I think we'll try to Let the Dream out. So we'll do one of these and let them's. Okay, we're over influenced though, so no unleash. That means we have minimal influence to do cool stuff with transactions. Maybe 2 Basalt, 1 Eminent, 1 Slash. 2 Basalt, 1 Eminent, 1 Slash. 1 Eminent, 1 Slash, maybe? Greenmail's really good though. That's a lot of agendas. Eminent, 3, 6, 7, 8. Let's try this first. I'm not 100% sure. We also have to take care of that, like our math when it comes to how long do they spend on 4 agenda points. That might be something that's both good and bad with Let Them Dream. They store a Basalt. Need to fit 6 streams in 5 days. Yo, Jeff, I took time off of work. I'm not going to sit around. When are you starting tonight? 7:30 on Asynchronous SC on the Slay the Spire 2 day. Let's play some Antilles so we have something to push early. Then let's try and fill the rest of this out. So Afshar has been really good. Let's just play the cards that have been really good. I think Ballista might be better. Hi, by the way. Slightly better than the amount of play. Okay, 7:30. What else do we want? Envelopment is like a good rush ice, as much as it's like more obviously an op card, but it's not something that we shouldn't consider. Event Horizon has been good. Flywheel, we haven't res one yet, but I assume that it's good. Let's try and earmark one. Kessleroid's not a bad card, but I don't think we have, we're struggling to Ice Destruction. In fact, we haven't seen Ice Destruction. I'm tempted to go to 3 Masks, 1 Logjam again. Stavka's, we probably have enough like Ice Destruction, but that, sorry, Program Destruction, but that is like a big thing to do with Modernism. And then in the Code Gate slot, what are we doing? We've been doing 2 Valenchows and it's been like, okay. I could see us doing like 1 Valenchow, 1 Fly Swatter, because that is like a particularly good thing that we don't get rushed down from. 1 Basalt is risky. Damage may fall apart if they steal the only copy. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. It might be, but it's harder for them to win. So maybe we'll have more time to oppo and measured and all that other stuff. This is 13 ice. So we probably want 1 more piece of ice. Like that, I guess. Operations, we're going to play everything that you think we're going to play. So we're going to play Petty Cash. We're going to play Hedge Fund. We're almost definitely going to play Ball Voucher Fund. We want money. They don't have money. We're already at 47 cards. Cultivate to find punishment. Yeah, Cultivate's just a good one of. It's like totally fine. We do draw through it a bit, but it's like a nice one of card for sure. That's 48 cards. I think we want another transaction and like KPIs probably fit the bill. Do we have enough ways to kill? Like, do we play Retribution? What about the Sack Zones and 3 Basalt? Without the Sack Zones, I want to play the Sack Zones because it looks fun as hell. Like this could easily be my favorite agenda in the whole game. We'll find out. So Ralph Linator, I think there's definitely something to be said about trying no Sack Zones, but we're specifically trying Sack Zones because of both it's a new card and makes me happy. This is like why this card is so good in these Modernism lists is like it's very easy to install this in a remote server, advance it and put an ice and say, what are you going to do? And then even if they face check the ice, you can still score the Sack Zone on the next turn because you functionally score it for free. Regolith over Antil, I think Regolith is way too slow. Modernism is way faster than spending a whole turn doing nothing, getting money. Antil is just like acceptable. You also could try Luana Kampush, which like we'd probably have to play 1 or 2 more bad publicity cards, but Antil's already kind of slow. Advancing Saxon triggers Zwicky? I don't think I realized that. Yo, we would have totally realized that during the game on accident. I'm glad that you brought that up, but advancing this fires Zwicky. So you just want to fire it every turn. Oh my God, I'm excited for this card on this. You do gain credits through an agenda. That is sick. Oh my God, Zwicky with Oaktown would be amazing as much as this is first time. I mean, 14 ice, let's go. Let's see if we can blow someone up. I do think you could like play 1 fewer bite or 1 fewer Let Them Dream and just play like a cheesy, what's it called? A public trail in here, or you know, this one, or you could play a cheesy copy of Mindscaping just to get a bit more reach. I don't know if we exactly need to end the line. Also, like, yeah, this was mentioned before, playing Angelique or cards like Shackleton, cards that open up the runner, might also be fine. So I could see us playing more bad publicity and playing Shackleton grids, because if they use the bad publicity, which admittedly is their choice, and I don't think we need to give them a choice. Yeah, okay, let's give this a shot. So Zwicky Modernism. We always have to put this in quotes because it's now become more and more ironic every time we say the damn word. Is this modernism? I mean, is it good? No? Then yeah, it's modernism. Let's go. New corp deck. Zwicky Modernism. This, mind you, from all this wiki I have played over the last like year or so, I have never played modernism in it. I've only played Fast Advance and like Fast Advance Rush. So this is actually going to be like refreshingly different. Corp. You have to remember that you have 2 win cons. The one thing that this deck isn't doing that you probably want to do for Fast Advance is probably play a bit more Fast Advance, right? Like play your Slash and Burns, play stuff like that. Because if they cannot die, we probably can't win if they're trying to keep up with us. Generally, that was the 3 prongs of modernism, like Fast Advance, scoring out quickly, but also Fast Advance, program destruction, and death. And we can probably only legitimately threaten 2 of them. Maybe that's enough. God, advancing sack zone is going to be sick. Hey, it's still bulb. We'll see if there's something weird here. Okay, just Vic. Hand is good. We have HQ pressure, HQ ice. Hey. Best of luck, have fun. Okay. This hand's fine. This is the weird thing is on turn 1, I'm never sure if we should play the petty cash. I often want to play the hedge fund. Maybe we just want to be slightly slower against Vic. But I could see us doing petty cash double ice if we mandatory or draw petty cash ice. Otherwise, hedge fund puts us to 9. That's probably more important because we have balance out here. So I think we actually just do hedge fund. And if we throw out a petty cash on turn 1, so be it. Do we put Winchesters? No, I don't want to put Winchesters in a deck that has bad publicity. You probably still could, but when it comes to Winchester being trace based on some board states, giving the runner like 3 bad publicity is not a good start. As much as Vic doesn't have Link. And we're seeing there's only like 2 Link runners in the game now. But yeah, bad pub into trace has like always been a bit ugly. All right, I guess we'll start with the hedge fund. We can do petty cash into hedge fund, but this is just a click for 2 credits then, which doesn't seem like it's worth doing. I mean, that's better on HQ somewhat. So I think we'll just do this to play around DreamNet open. I'm not running Myoshu, I'm just jamming agendas till you have a run or I win. So you still have to keep up cards and creds without making sure I don't score. Like the threat of Myoshu changes how people have to play, even if you don't play Myoshu until you're at open deck lists. Like that's also worth keeping in mind. We want for Shackleton? I'm not convinced. We'll res this. We still have 6. Issue with you running closed deck list and the runner has no idea if they need to prepare Myoshu or measured. Yeah, things will change a lot with these sort of decks if you have open deck lists. Because realizing you don't have to play measured allows them to be way more aggressive. All right, credits are coming as much as it's slowly. The Myoshu decks are almost certainly playing measured. I don't think so. I think there's a chance. I don't think it's guaranteed. So we're at 1 bad pub. I mean, we could just push the basalt behind the BOAC. Mind you, this is our 1 basalt. Oppo's good. I think we're gonna probably Vulture Fund now so we can't jam next turn unless we pre-install this. This is not a good face check. Like that's the good thing. A lot of times you want to face check into Weyland without breakers. The only thing that punishes you is like legitimately Maskarovka. I could see us discarding this petty cash, but we already have 1 in the bin, so giving 2 bad publicity on turn 2 seems like a bit too much. I'll just do this and see what happens. This card's been good so far. It's been genuinely good. Hermes, Boomerang, okay. We'll get this res. It's a 1 and 3, 1 and 5. Love to get the HQ Ice res into Hermes. If the Basalt hits, very good. If it's a bite, we win. We have a 1 in 5 chance to win, so we take those. Don't lose the bad pub. Imagine we hit the bite there. Double has no idea how close to the sun he flew there. But we'd like to get our ice res. That was a transfer. Okay, the transfer's fine. We can petty cash back. Just kidding, we can't. Psych. I forget this costs 3 all the time. Could have won 20% of the time. I think we just put this on server 1. It's pretty okay as is. It gives us enough to play petty cash next turn. I don't know if we're gonna get remote comp or modded or not. Fight cost 4. Oh, you're right. It was a transfer play. Yeah, you're right. We didn't have the money. Never mind. I forgot it was a transfer. I thought it was a reg run. Yeah, that makes way more sense. Notice how I was stunned that we couldn't play petty cash. I totally forgot it was a transfer. All right, I think we'll do the one in the bin. This has slowed us down considerably. We need to play the vulture fund sooner than later. We could do credit vulture fund, throw out the petty cash. I mean, I'd rather just be intimidating. We're going to petty cash next turn. And then after we petty cash, we can install advance. Another transfer. Okay. The bite wins the game now. 1 in 5. We don't have an end of line. Maybe we want to play 3. We also could play a pivot in the deck, which is probably worth something. Damn. Could have had it. Oh no, DreamNet. Technically safe, technically safe, technically safe. Ooh, let's go for the sack zone. You can't Hermes it. That's way more fun, right? This server is kind of expensive. This helps, and it protects all other servers. We have a click left, which I didn't plan around at all. You might be able to tell. I think we just want to put something on HQ here. So we'll put the logjam. This server gets contested. It's actually not that good. We can just res a Bioac. If it hits a Shibboleth and a DreamNet, I think we're okay with it. But then obviously we're bankrupt. But face-up cards cannot be Hermes bounced, which is another nice way that you can just ignore centrals. We might be overprotecting HQ on the basis that 2 transfers are out. Hey, Holzpoob, yeah, we played Zwicky all day. Today this is our first chance shot at a Modernism deck. So we'll see how good it goes. How you doing? I'm totally fascinated by the deck you played yesterday. It 100% blew us out. How expensive is it to fire the Valenchow? Are we running for a single? Oh, compromat. Nice. So if the server, when the run ends, if it's successful, give the core one bad publicity unless they derez a piece of ice. I think we get a derez, a bad publicity. It's like, do you want to get a bad publicity or a bad publicity? So you still have to break this. If they let it fire, we go to 16, they go to 15. So the changes actually matter. So Shibboleth is still okay here. They only have to break the first 2 though. Are we going to do a meat damage? They die to bite anyways, but we could take a card out of their hand. They have 1 click left. We'll be on 14. I think we take the card out of their hand here. They technically have to dream that first, so there's a chance we 50-50 get an agenda. I think we're going to go for it. We hit a clean getaway. Seems like a good value. This card's really annoying for criminals. Derez and ice? No, just have a bad publicity. We could have been playing the bad publicity deck. We're not. And the bad publicity does not beat Valenchow. At least quickly. They know the top of the deck. The fact that next turn we advance and draw a card is just so cool. So unbelievably cool. Okay, Carmen's there. That's not good. We don't want to see that. They know we have a Maskarovka. They have no cards in hand. We can't Oppo research. We definitely advance this, and I think we draw. KPI is good. It gets another ice on the server. Free Maskarovka is good, and 2 credits. They might run HQ, but I think we're actually okay with this. I think we just click for credit. We just keep advancing this once a turn. 3 credits in the card draw is so cool on an agenda. Just so cool on an agenda. There's no way this is... I mean, you're right. Actually, with Shibboleth and Chesva, this is not that bad. It's going to get a bit worse once we get threat 4, as much as we're far away from that. Singleton Bite wins the game. Oh, no, it doesn't win the game, DreamNet. But you actually have to break all subroutines. So this is 2 from Chesva, 2 from Bad Publicity. So this is actually credits. Okay. And Hermes doesn't do too much. Yep. Hit a mutual. Okay. That matters because the core peer is what we wanted to get there. It does win the game? Oh, with Saxon, you're right, it does. It didn't look like it. Oh no, he drew last click, yeah. I don't think we can keep doing this button. We definitely do this first to see what happens. Okay, that into Hermes is a bit worse. I think we can put this on R&D. That might put more pressure on HQ. I think we just click for credit. Again, we are flooding up, and that's the fact that we have been trading our win con for meat damage. Such a cool card. Oh my god, this card. Please give us full art. Clean Gateway Archives, 4 credits in card draw, and losing a card. What do we hit? We hit another Clean Getaway. They're all out. Okay. If we do install advance, it opens up one of these servers and we discard a card anyways, so that's not great. Our hand is actually pretty bad. I think we should not have done that this turn. I think we should have just scored this. We have 3 Spin Doctors and Ice. Any HQ run could just like lose the game on the spot. We have the basalt bite play if they multi-axis, which is really fun if he goes for it. But here, I think we have to do this. I think we will draw regardless. Okay, that's good. I think we just put this on archives. I just like want to play the Oppo. I think we just advance this one more time. Like the Oppo seems okay. He has money though, so whatever. This is probably not worth it because I guess you do still break this a lot with Carmen, but it means that you can't just free DreamNet. But with Bad Publicity and Chesba, the Carmen breaks this for 4, which is only technically free. Table Bite, it might be worth it, but now he has this many cards in hand. I don't know. So we can do Sack Zone Jam. Ah, next card, nice. So we are allowed to discard cards here, and oh, we are flooding up, and that's because we spent so much time on the Sack Zone thing. I forgot about Hermes. That might open up HQ. That at least makes it easier for us to fix our hand. But I think we just put this in server 1. And it's only a transfer here, so we have to get the basalt and the above the law out of our hand here. So that's fine. Yeah, we flooded. That's not good. I still think we have a way out of this, though. Again, I think on average, Del Bulb's going to have to steal 5 agendas, especially because we know where the 5-3 is. But I think 3 bad publicity against how slow we've been is not going to line up well for us. Yeah, only 3 points in hand. Oh, they're all going to go. Last transfer. Okay, that's acceptable. We could draw with the Spin Doctor here. On average, it makes our hand better. Throwing out the Oppo really sucks. We probably should have held on to our win condition. Yeah. Good. Vulture Fun. Let's see if you steal that and go back. I think the Spin Doctor wants you to go back. And like now our board stage just explodes for Hermes. And I think we have to res the Spin Doctor no matter what, because if Hermes bounces the Spin Doctor, we lose the game. Which I think I almost forgot there. I'll be honest. Makes it harder to hit bite, I know, but what can you do? 21 credits. I mean, yeah, we're not doing much. We now just need to jam like Let Them Dreams into their mode server. This seems like a fine turn just to score Green Mail to get a free Bioac. Allows us to draw another card, so we have to discard some. That's not my favorite. So many agendas. I think we can throw Let Them Dream into the bin. But if we do install Advance Events, we don't have to do Zwicky. We always could. We don't have to. That puts us on 3 agenda points. They probably bounce R&D, if not archives. No. Let's see what happens to Hermes. Yeah, the problem is like now the 3 transfers are out. The one like absurd thing that happens is when they transfer and then they hit the bite and they have 2 tags. Like that's usually where they get caught out. Yeah, okay. So the flywheels aren't it. We actually could have considered throwing out an agenda there because giving Let Them Dream is not super impactful. Pop Spin and put Green Mail on the remote server. I think I'd rather just score it because we want to make this run bad. How bad could this be? Yeah, I could have seen this kept in ice and throwing out the Let Them Dream. He's just having money, and money will beat our deck because we don't have like a more strong game plan where money really matters. And if we don't jam money, like I don't think we've been jamming fast enough to feel Modernism. Let's see if he uses the cup. I'm assuming he does. Yeah, Green Mail. Okay. This makes the rest of the cup worse. Hermes is kind of weird like that. So this looks bad, but it usually gets padded. Yeah, now you access the Bioac, you hit the Let Them Dream. Okay. Another Hermes. Oops, board state gone. Oh no. That's an issue too, is we don't push him to run the remote server. Our board state just disappears. Oh, Praxis, this doesn't run? This doesn't see the cards. So we are not on threat. We're gonna get the cup down and just do it again. That's cool. Yeah, we're cooked. Hermes was optional. No, it's forced. It's a hard thing to repair, but it's super forced. Okay, so we have all the breakers here. No, we don't actually have all the breakers, but we should have all the breakers by now. I mean, I think we just do a Green Mail here and not care. Puts us to 4. Shackleton win All-Star right now because of Bad Pub and Chesva? Yeah, but then he just uses not the Bad Pub and Chesva and trashes the Shackleton. Like, it doesn't do anything. You don't have to use your Bad Pub or Chesva. He has 24 credits. It like literally would have been we res for 1. He loses 3 credits on that run. I think it's a lot worse than people think. Because the thing with Shackleton is you can't res it when they use credits to be like, gotcha. You have to res it and then be like, do you want to use your credits? And then he says no. So like actually what would have been better is the thing that stops successful runs. Like he has to trash that. It's kind of very comparable. I'll just get this out of the game. Do we draw here? Yeah, we can. That's good to know. Like Shackleton is not a surprise. You give them all the information and then they decide whether they want to use it or not. Event Horizon is still good. He has 24 credits because of the Bad Pub. Yes, and because we haven't been forcing him to run the remote server. 3 Bad Pub is bad. Easy to say, it's been quite bad. So Biowak Event Horizon is the most tasking server. Maskarovka eventually will be bad, but it's still okay. Logjam at this point, we have no upgrades. I think that, but it might actually be right to keep 2 Event Horizons. They don't want to use their real 7 credits trying to run instead of the Chesva Bedpad. Good for them. Yeah, like I don't think it actually does anything. I just bounce off barriers. Yeah, exactly. Unless the face check is game losing, you can just also bounce off of it and pinhole it. Like Shackleton does give your opponent a lot of options. These have to go back, I think. Also because he's on 28 credits, so 3 Bad Pub. Yeah, the measures don't make any sense. I think we have too much Bad Pub in the deck. Like the measures will never land. Yeah, if he was running that aggressively and didn't have the Bad Pub, he would be on like a third of this money. But like rightfully he can, so he will. We are cooked. Maybe without Luana Vulture Fund, Balanchow has too much Bad Pub to give. It's more so that we played the Vulture Fund. He gave us 1 more bad publicity. Like it's a lot of different small things. But the biggest issue is that we did not jam in the remote server and we spent so much time like playing with ourselves with the Sacrifice Zone expansion. And then we flooded up. Like to play Modernism, you have to rush, and we didn't rush. We floated a 2-pointer in the remote server for like 4 or 5 turns. I think that's been the biggest death sentence to us. Robo, how's it going, Adam? Yeah, it's been great. It's been really fun. All right, got the Kurapira out. That actually might be impactful. So maybe we should get the Logjam because he might be on 1. He might be only on 1 Kurapira. We also lost a Boomerang there. Saxon is a Namba with BP probs. Yeah, kind of. We can play the measure to make him spend 8 credits. I don't think it's good. Ian, I knew that was for you. So we can spend 5 to make him spend 8. I think the better thing here is we just need to stack barriers and push. So let's go for it. Mighty Rise Ice, hence Eminent might have been better than Greenmail. We had no way to score the Eminent, so the Greenmail was good because we could score it. Is there a Praxis left? I don't know, actually. That's a good point. You might be on multiple Praxises. I can't tell. A lot of these decks are on 2 Praxises, so like that is maybe worth putting a barrier on R&D on Archives, I think. But then he can always still Boomerang it. Like I think Event Horizon on Archives is actually a bit better for us in the long run. So let's force a Boomerang and let's stop a Praxis. We could play this, but then he pays 8. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, we haven't seen enough influence to know. I do think throwing out the Logjam was a mistake because the BOAC is not going to be taxing into 35 credits. And just having barriers where there's a chance we could snipe it is worth something. Yeah, we 100% spent too much time on Sacrifice. 100%. We have 1 more 5-3 though. So like if we just have 1 turn where we have 2 barriers and solid advance, maybe we can beat a single Boomerang. So he's only 8 cards left. I don't know if he's on another Kurapira. I guess we will res this. So we have against Hermes, which is important. So 1 Boomerang out, 1 Kurapira out, 1 Praxis out. Influence we've seen is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm assuming 10, 11 on Nuka. Could be anything really. Bad Pub seems bad in Modernism. It's a staple Modernism. But you generally didn't have 3. You usually had 1 or 2. If he actually cups the Maskarovka is really bad for us. Measured probably will be trashed. Could be cupped. Cool. We're okay with that. This card doesn't do anything. We'll res here, start a turn. We could have given a bite. That was a last click access. No. Oh, that's fine. We'll push Let Them Dream here. Actually, I don't think we are allowed to do that anymore. Okay. Oh, we could have done biting to end the line. We could have had it there if we resed the Spin Doctor, which is an unhinged play, but we actually had the unhinged play. We have no way to score the Basalt next turn, though. We have like no fast advance tech. Oppo's fine because we can afford to play it. I'll put the bite back in because like we are grinder. The issue is the Basalt gets bounced by Hermes, so I think we have to wait till next turn. Because the compilation probably sweeps here. It might have been right to like bottom one of these agendas. So we could do install advance here. And then bottom the 5-3 and then win off the... Oh, there's no more last green mail. Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard on Hermes. I just think this play makes it seem like we have... Oh, never mind. Another Group Hero. Good game. Yeah, I think we concede here. The only way we can win is if he hits a bite too late. If he steals this, he only goes to 3, hits the Basalt, we're on 6. There's a chance. Yeah, the sacrifice zone is a huge trap. Okay, this opens up archives, so you don't actually need to play around the Praxis anymore. Should be on 5 points, is on 3. Lamau has to steal 2 more to win the game, no matter what. Maybe even 3 more. Unlikely, actually. Let's see if Mystic... Like, we just want to run an event that gives a tag to sweep HQ. Okay, there's no shot here we win, because he can always clear the tag, and he has too much money. That pair's been, like, really good. Like, this has actually cost him 8 to 10 credits, and it's real credits, right? Let's see if he uses the cup. If he does, if he hits the bite and the Basalt, we can grab another bite back. This interaction, actually, we can win the game. He just has to hit the Basalt. Bioac? Basalt? Okay, so now we can't win. But in theory, if he hits the Basalt, we can add another bite to hand. Oh, there is no other bite in hand. We shuffled it back in. We probably should have left it in the bin, let's be honest. I guess we'll add the measure response. We're just like deck chairs, all that sort of thing. But yeah, there's a line there where he hits bite, trashes a Basalt, brings the bite back. We had a couple ways to win. But as soon as you touch the ice there, we can't win. Should be on 8 points, hasn't won. Weird. Weird how that is. GG. Oh, it went way too slow there. If you don't have the second Kuru, I don't even know. Table bite go? Yeah, maybe table bite does it, but like he always runs the table on click 1 or 2, so there's no chance. We might as well because it's funny. Yeah, it was straight wrong. Flooded real bad because of it. Yeah, but this is like the sort of no-nonce reg crim I think is what you're gonna see with Vic more often than not, where it's like, notice how there's no rotary and there's no like Bocklin and there's none of the cute stuff. It's just like Sable. And immediately like DreamNet with Sable would have been absurd. DreamNet and Vic is just fine. And I don't know many times Vic fired, but I honestly think like maybe that's gonna be annoying, is that Vic's text doesn't matter, just DreamNet matters. But yeah, this is like probably what good red crim looks like. Hand is Chesva, Iru, there's another Praxis, Stoneship, Hermes. Yeah, we can't beat that. Yeah. I put the Horizon to beat the Praxis, but Hermes might stop that, I reckon. A lot of fun games with Vic. I mean, if you want to play good stuff criminal, like Vic seems like the one to do it in. I think Vic might be the thing to play. Yeah, that last run was maybe also deadly. There's some risks. Yeah, I can bite Basalt. Return bite. 2. Should have left 1 in bin, I think, to grab with Basalt. Into the into the a cup. On the second last turn, where you accessed last click, I think it was. Last click. Had I spun, you might have been dead, but that's an absurd play. Exactly. Any chance I can hop into the next game? For sure. I think Vic text does matter. It just matters more in deck building than actual gameplay. I am guessing the more consistent Vic decks you'll see at top tables, the text will be good against the NBN, but will not fire more than like 3 times a game. Maybe you're playing Praxis and Eros. So with Eero, it'll fire more, actually. Eero's really good. Hey, thanks for the game. Cheers. Yeah, we got stomped. We definitely can't do the sacrifice zone thing. Maybe it actually would have been better if it was off-world office. It's hard to tell. At least it's good into Hermes. Hermes turn 1 was like really, really bad for us. Runner can play with just don't trash the bite so you can reaccess after Basalt. Honestly, that is the play. If the line you lose to is bite into this, to Basalt into bite, you have to not trash the bite. It is something I actually will consider, which is like really, really funny. Veronica, do you want to host? Because otherwise, I don't know how long the stream delay is. That felt way worse than the other two options. And I do think like the big reason is if you're not jamming, we have no strong game plan that isn't jam and hope the runner can't keep up. And if the runner can keep up, we just lose unless they like really cheese it to a bite. Oppo was super dead. Oh, here it is. Yeah, there's a couple cards that were super dead there. So I like this one the least, I think. But we've only played one game. The fact that Myoshu doesn't trigger Hermes is another crazy good interaction. I mean, you're only playing Myoshu if you win the game, right? Does that actually matter? You have to import? Yeah, do it up. It's fine. I'll just go play Slay the Spire too. I'll be back. Yeah, I don't think Double had to do it, but even just installing the Stone Ship and saying like there's no way you win is like, yeah. I don't think you actually have to do anything. You can just sit there and say you're going to lose. Because what are you going to do? Cards in a remote server? That's not going to win. Saxon's almost always an install advance, so you have the choice of scoring after doing damage. Yeah, that's a play I don't do because I think it wants to fire every single turn. But you're right, install advance is fine. And then just say next turn I can threaten to score and then still jam. I think it's definitely the way to do it. Yeah, let's do it. I've been install advancing and it hasn't felt beautiful. Phoenix. Okay, cool. We have a bunch of ice that's actually pretty good into Phoenix. Cool thing about Phoenix, it allows us to carve our hand to deliver bites. Thanks, you too. So this hand, Flywheel's pretty bad into Phoenix, but it draws cards, so like who cares? We have the early sack zone. If we draw one good ice, it's good. We have no transactions. We're likely to draw a transaction. This hand could both be better and worse. I'm going to keep it. It's like a 50% hand. We have a lot of agendas, and this is the one agenda we want early. I'm going to keep this and hope for the best. In theory, Holloman, Basalt, Myoshu can go 0 to 7 in 3 clicks. What? No? How? Hey, Juniper, how's it going? How's your VP launch been? Wait, how can you do that? I don't think you can do that. You also need to find both the Myoshus. Oh, you think if you have the agenda on 2 advancements, then you do Holloman for 3 Myoshu. Yeah, sure. If you have 23 credits on the entire board, yeah, you win. That's fine. How much bad pub will be on this time? Concerned Doge? I mean, I hope not as much. I hope not as much. I do not know what pressure Phoenix is playing. I think Phoenix needs to play central pressure because otherwise if they don't res, your ability doesn't do anything. So Hermes, Penny Shaver, honestly, they taunt. We could just do Saxon Flywheel, but I do think that she will face check and a Botulus just cooks us. So this hand actually does suck. We could do Saxon Advance, hopefully draw something better, but this hand is bad. At least we have Oppo Research. Maybe she doesn't have money. Been fiddling with Phoenix. Oh, very cool. I'm very excited to see a Phoenix deck that is like really, really fun because it's such a fun ID box. It's just like Anarch has some structural issues with breakers, and then on top of it, you have the whole Phoenix problem. I mean, draw double install. That's fine. These all have very bad Phoenix text. I guess we'll do this. Don't love it. No transaction turn. This is the first time I think we haven't played a transaction turn 1. Turn 1, stick and poke. Love it. We're face checking HQ. This Valen Chow will bring us down to why is this math so hard? To 2. She will on 2. No, she can just touch a card here. And the Gachapon can always like panic Botulus. Already disagree. I don't know which part you want to disagree with. Oppo Research, that's scary find. It's like the single worst card against Phoenix. Phoenix loves Flywheel. Yeah, this is really bad for us. Oh, stick and poke is bad? I'm not 100% sure. Okay, this hand is really, really stinky. We definitely should not have kept this. We're gonna have to sit in our soiled pants for a moment. If we do install advance and just say like Oppo is a threat, like so be it. She could Gachapon for a Fermenter. She can, if we put ice on the table, she can Gachapon for, I'm going to do it and hope we draw an end the run. Yeah, okay. This is bad. All right, so she didn't find anything super impactful, which is good. In fact, she found nothing. It's only a second stick and poke if she wants it, which like it gets out of the deck, I guess. but no ice destruction. It looks like she's on ice destruction with Devil Charm. No Botulus, no Fermenter, no Companion. So very bad Gachapon. So just remove 3 cards from the game. Okay. She can and will face check this maybe. If it's a Maskarovka, like it's kind of ugly. Early buffer drive, it looks like we're face planting, and she's just going to get 2 free points we've given to her. That's okay, because we have Oppo and double end the line, and she might not be able to afford to come back from this. Yeah, this is a Maskarovka. It's really good for us, but it's not. So, like, we should not have kept this hand. We can do Petty Cash, Oppo, something like that. It's a tempo Oppo, but, like, good enough. I think we just do Vulture Fund Oppo, because we can do Petty Cash next turn. I want to jam, but none of these jams do anything without advancements. So have a bad publicity, have 2 tags, see what happens. I tried stick and poke for a bit and realized that there's so much ice you can already use Phoenix's ability on. Adding another bad subroutine is, I don't know, I don't like it. I could see it. I do think there's enough subroutines that Phoenix can fire. In fact, nearly all our ice. So she has no money, which that's good for us. We need to find an end the run ice or just a bite. Man, the ice has not been good to us. Biowac is a terrible res because of so many different reasons. So I think we just put an Antil and chill. We can definitely draw once for an ice. I mean, no, that's not it. We could feed a Basalt. That gets back Oppo. That's probably a bit of a more proactive line. I also don't mind this. But I think on 0 credit, she's not likely to check this. Oh, now she's likely to check it. Oh. This gets trashed for free no matter what. So I think we just let her trash this, and then she Gourmand runs the bite and we win. Because she has bad pub. She won't bite this or Gourmand this. So she'll Gourmand the bite for sure. Go ahead. Come on. You have to deal with Slash and Burn. Deal with the bite. Come on, run the Spin Doctor. Veronica, run the Spin Doctor. You don't want me to have the Spin Doctor, right? Okay, fine. Fire. She has no money to lose. Ashen gets on the bottom. Stick and poke fires. Technically fine. Like it changed the card into a card. She didn't run the Spin Doctor. What's with that? Okay. Still, our hand is terrible. We have so much ice that doesn't end the run. And we are a rush deck. So I think that's an issue. Is like, we need stuff that just ends the run. I think we should not have iced HQ. I think we should just push in the remote server. I think our ice placement is so important because we need our good turn 1 and 2 has to transition to the good rest of the game. If we push the Basalt here, it's kind of scary. And Event Horizon ends the run. I mean, sort of. I think she's going to have enough money. It's like the best play we have. Like I could see us doing install advance Event Horizon and hoping, but I mean, she should be able to scrounge together 2 more credits or 1 more credit because she has bad pub. I can't believe she didn't run our Spin Doctor. How can I share a deck with you to see? I also cooked pretty good Zwicky BP list. What you can do, because YouTube eats links, is if you share it by like putting the code at the end. So sorry, Veronica, for 1 second. So when you put a deck list online, it'll have like a string. It's usually like a language code and then like a unique code here. So if you can copy this like en/whatever, if you share it to me, just make sure that in your account settings, edit account, that you have shared decks, this checkbox. Otherwise it won't work. Oh, okay. So this is what we don't res. In theory, I thought she would res this because having a Spin Doctor on the table makes Phoenix work for us. So we don't res this for a couple reasons. If she hits a bite here, we win. No, that's not true. We don't win. Got it. Thank you, Maddie. I'll be able to grab that. Hold on. Ooh, where is Deck Builder? Oh, I went back here. Hold on. Sorry, Veronica. Sorry, Veronica. That did not work. Not sure why. Okay, we have Afshar. Cool. Why did this happen? No, it's fine. We can score this and bottom the Basalt. I think we want the Basalt. She knows we're on an Afshar. This flywheel is probably garbage. The Afshar does have a subroutine you can just resolve, but like she doesn't have breakers. I think we'll just score this, I guess. We can go grab a green mail and put it in HQ. I'm assuming it's safe in HQ. I think we probably do that. Like this has text. We can also bottom the Basalt. I just don't know how she gets to the Balanchao. I think she has to like put a 1-run Botulus on it, and then we can Phoenix away the Basalt if we need to. Especially because this looks like a Spin Doctor. So we'll search R&D for a green mail. We'll add it to hand. And then I'll discard the Afshar. Yeah, Maddie, that didn't work. I'm not sure why. It seems like it should have worked. Maybe make sure that code is right. I don't know why it would not have worked. Why is she not running our spin doctor? It's so important for Phoenix to not have a spin doctor on the table. Okay, Audrey, so now she really wants to run our spin doctor. Strike Fund, just throwing it out, bottoming it. Sick. Discarding a card. It's a chisel, okay. Above the law. I mean, trashing a stick and poke might be better for one of us more than the other. It's hard to tell sometimes. We'll score this so we can get a big old Bioac. However, we have to watch out to get trashed. Ian deck view. Oh, I think I have to put Ian deck view. I think you're right. We'll draw a card because we can discard a card. Oh God, why do we flood so much? The Agenda Suite in this deck feels so much worse than any others that we played so far today. We could give a 2-pointer to turn on measured. You had nothing to spin back, sure, if you read is that important. But like, you can't fire Phoenix with a spin doctor on the table because they just allow us to filter our hand, especially when you're running HQ. Like, and also it plays on slash and burn. Like, I think you need to respect the spin doctor. Man, another agenda is really weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we only have 4 more agendas than 30. This feels bad. Taking too long in here means we're flooded too. But we need these 3 cards because she has this. So I guess we get to let the dream away. Got it. Nice. All right, sick. We're the best. She can trash it. It happened. Of course, take a dive. Thank you, Sky Eater, if you fixed it. I mean, you assume that she wants to trash it. Now she has to clear a tag, so it's like kind of impactful. This was expensive for us. We definitely want to draw an economy card. I would have been game winning if she ran Alaska like a couple turns ago. I mean, this is normal. You want an Audrey counter, right? Cool thing too is like on some board states, you actually want to gourmand just to click compress, get the card draw. It's not this board state. It would be a board state where you have to play around measured and end of the line. If she run archives, she loses the game. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, sometimes you will gourmand that just to get click compress card draw. If we're on threat 4, I think it would be correct. Because then you could do draw, clear tag. No, if she runs archives, she can draw up. So she clears tag, draws up. Yeah, no, it won't be the case. Oh, and then she won't even be on threat 4. Jesus, what's going on with this deck? We at least can res Bioac, so I think we can just install this in 2, but like we've been drawing in not transactions and only agendas. Again, our deck has 10 agendas, 11 agendas. We've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 4 agendas and 29 cards. That's upsetting. That's really upsetting. Genuinely upsetting. And we haven't even like sacrifice zone for no reason. We did actually. We did sacrifice zone really ugly. As soon as we score this, like, what are we doing here? We just hitting stick and poke? Why? Are we trying to get a botulus? We should do that before we run, right? What is this? Why? Why is this? I guess we're Audring it? Yeah, that makes sense. She can easily die here. If she doesn't hit if she hits an agenda and not the measured, we win. I guess she could have Steel Skin in hand. This is the last click, so we want to make sure that she hits the Basalt. Hit the end of line, imps it, fine. Okay, so we're still not on threat. Spin Doctor just in time, which is good. She's on 1 credit, so we cannot measured. If she stole the agenda there, and it had to be a 2 or a 3, we'd win. If only that bite was a Spin Doctor. I don't think we actually care about trashing the stick and poke, so let's just go find some economy. Okay, that's good. She can Audrey over and over again. Purging would be cute. Putting this on HQ is cute as well. Icing up Spin Doctor is kind of cute. I just like, we have so many transactions. Our deck has 3 hedge funds. 2 petty caches. I mean, I think we just do something like this and make sure that we can fire a Bioac if it comes to it. Audrey doesn't beat it. Okay, still total whiff on a Gachapon. That's the second Gachapon full whiff. The first one could have got a stick and poke, but like charm. Justushka's good to see now that we've iced up HQ. But yeah, seems rough. Yeah, that's weird. I'm assuming it's much better than that. Like she has to be on chisels, botulises, fermenters, probably a cookbook or two. But yeah, just total garbage. Unfortunate. I want to play a transaction before we do the spin doctor. Okay, Simulchip gives us access to Chisel, which on the Devil Charm does something. So that means we can't really res the Bioac on the wrong board state. Yeah, we're both having pretty bad deck troubles. This so far has been not the winner of all the Zwicky decks, which is like really cool to know. Above the Law puts us on 3 credits, which puts us on threat, which means she can't steal or trash. Oh no, this is just a run, right? Yeah, I think we're just going to do it. This might be an overextension. Getting rid of stick and poke is like not my favorite, obviously. I'll trash any other companion sooner. But yeah, we'll get rid of our very cute friends here. There's the charm. So now any ice can be destroyed at instant speed. She looks like she's going to be on less than 8 credits. And okay, she will have cards in hand. We just have to not res. Again, this is why you have to deal with Spin Doctor, because if we want her not to steal the Basalt, we can just choose to discard it when Phoenix happens before you access. So it's like honestly pretty good for us. So I'm assuming she's going to charm. Wait, yeah, she's going to destroy the Valenchow. So that means subroutines won't resolve. We can do credit measured. She can trash it. I don't think we do anything here. Yeah, that's fine. So her ability doesn't fire. She gets rid of the Valenchow. More like Valenchow. Don't hit the measured. Mask. Oh, she has 9 credits. Never mind. Well done. Oh, this is in the deck. I forgot we put this in the deck. Jeez, where's our money? I swear we put money in this deck. Even this remote server, if we just found let's just go find a sack zone. We found money, but no sack zone. So we have to trash one of these cards. We'll trash the Vulture Fund. This works. Then we'll just put card to add to HQ. I think it'll be a hedge fund. Unfortunately, we can't play the hedge fund. And then the deck will be mask measured hedge fund, so she can't run in and trash it. That being said, if it's a flywheel, she might break it. She's incentivized to let one subroutine fire, so we should put the measured on top, because the next turn we can do a hedge fund double measured. That should win the game. So we'll do mask hedge measured. Top to bottom measured mask hedge fund. Yeah, that's right. We can res the Nafshar. Second Bwag's not important. This is like the slowest Modernism deck. This deck functionally does not work. This does not look right. And maybe it's because we flood, and if we flood, we don't get an agendas. Oh, this shuffles the deck, right? That's on us. She did make a successful run, so she has to play around double measured. The problem is we just shuffled the measured away. So we should probably add the measured to hand. So stealing an agenda point wouldn't be that bad, but she did make a successful run. We didn't shuffle the Oppo back, and now the top of R&D is totally unknown. She's on 4 cards, 9 credits, so she wins on 2 angles. Now she's on 8 credits, so if we had an Angelique, we could win. And Fermenter install. Okay, Petty Cash is good. This server, we probably can push the Basalt. This is the 1 3-pointer, which is scary. I'd rather get more money faster. Okay, that's good. Flywheel is a liability. Maskarovka, for what it's worth, is also a liability. We know she's on Shestushka, so I could ice HQ, and then we could just click for credit and push next turn. We probably should have petty cashed, because we're going to play 2 this turn. Yeah, this turn was not a jam turn. It was a get a money turn, so we could have done petty cash into hedge fund and not care about Zwicky firing twice. And then petty cash would fire next turn from the bin clicklessly, which means we can install advance. I'm very bad with the way that I play petty cash. I need to do it first click. Sometimes I think it's not right, but I have to think, what's the rest of your turn, buddy? And I don't think there's any card here that we would have jammed at the remote server. We need to print a card that's high value target for Gachapon to fully capture the flavor of the card. It should be limit 1 per deck. I mean, I guess we can do this and then just click for credit. Wow. Such modernism, such speed. So fast. All right, steel skin on our turn. That's something we have to play around. Like, we need to track the steel skins. We know one's on the bottom of the deck, but it is one of the way that she can beat measured. Oh, she's also playing the Kiss one, the Charm Offensive. So discarding our cards, we have to do correctly. All right, that's scary. We found her second measured. She is going to have more money. We could consider purging. We just need more money to do double measured and res ice. That's good. She might want to just chisel the event horizon. So I could see us just putting this on the table and setting it up for next turn. If she runs it, she might just die. We have no fast events, which is like why we're not putting on a lot of threat here. All right, if we res this, we can throw out the Maskarovka. I think that's acceptable. It makes her hand better. If she lets us draw, we basically are undoing Phoenix's text, which Phoenix has fired 0 times so far. No, maybe once. And it's honestly hurt. Like, I don't know if it's helped or hurt who more. Like, cool, Phoenix fires, but like now we have more cards to discard. Maybe discarding ice is wrong, but that's not good. I fully believe in Modernism speed because every game with my Bankin since release, I've been opening with Saxstone and ice on the remote. Such a great turn 1. I want to live for that. Okay, so Bioac fires here. Event Horizon has to be broken for money. Bioac gets res for free. I think we'll just res this and see what happens because she has to pay 3 on this, or she has to use a card in Audrey. She's already successful run for double measured. We might not have money. So yeah, she's going to Audrey this. And then that means the Bioac can hit like a truck. Especially because it could destroy a fermenter. Oh, excuse me. All right, this seems good. What's up? Yeah. That was close. Does she, oh, now we have to show it's a Bioac because that unprompt. Yeah, that tracks. Yeah, so they were, okay, good. That's fine. It keeps an Audrey counter, which is actually really important because if it's a Bioac, she can break at least one of the subroutines, and we're forced to end the run. So that's a really important take back, I think. Think removing the end of line and Oppo for third measure might get us a functional deck. I don't know. The Oppo like does something. There's a chance it's a Bioac. Okay. So she has to pay 6 here. So that's good. So now measured is real. We can res this because it's super cheap. How does it not work? Oh, we can draw a card. It is the Bioac. Yeah, I got it. Otter, thank you. Yeah, it is unfortunate. How do I know? I don't know. That's a good panic to be like, action. Let me redo this. So she can break this, but at the end of the day, we can still end the run, either with the event horizon. And now she's on 4 credits, 2 cards in hand. So if she draws, she will survive measured, but we can do hedge fund double measured. So fire all. So it's end the run or do nothing. I think we'll end the run. So that should be game. The most cards she could have in hand, if she has double steel skin, so be it. Oh, Petty Cash puts us on 10. That's perfect. We don't have to commit the hedge fund. Is that better or worse? Because if we do a hedge fund, we go down up to more money. I guess we always do the petty cash and don't draw. We're going to see what happens with the measured here, because then we can hedge fund next. So she loses her whole hand here unless it's all steel skins. We know 1 steel skin's on the bottom, but she did make a successful run, so that's game. Oh, funny enough, if she had double strike fund there, she would have beat us. 2 strike fund would have been terrifying. Modernism. Yeah, maybe triple measure in slots. Hey, GG. That was, thanks you too. I did not feel fast enough. And this is like I don't want to dunk on Phoenix because I think there's a cool Phoenix build definitely somewhere. But like I think Phoenix fired twice. It's like if you want to play Reg Anarch in it, so be it. But it's like the corporation can play around you. And so it's more the big thing is like, how do you punish the corporation for not rezzing? And I honestly don't know. How it's hard. It's seemingly an Anarch. I thought you were on Oppo in the line. I didn't know measured. Yeah, I'm on both. Yeah, it's a really tricky problem. Because firstly, they don't res. That seems like it should be good enough if you have twinning, and so be it. Like, that's good. But then you have to both let ice subroutines fire, which can happen, but then they also have to break ice, and then you have to do it all at the same time as just being a Reg Anarch. A bulb. Phoenix is just Reg stick and poke now. Yeah, that's what I think. But like, I'm not 100% sure what Reg looks like. Like, what are Reg breakers? I don't know. And then the argument is Phoenix better than playing Lou for 40 cards Reg, or Essa, which is not Reg, or Topon. I'm imagining if Phoenix and Topon both do reg, I'm assuming Phoenix is more impactful with more influence and a more fun ability. But it's like, it's not the deck anyone wants it to be, seemingly. It's just kind of reg. Hey, Veronica. Good game. Yeah. And like even the Phoenix ability is a downside. Like there were turns where we could add a Spin Doctor on the table or a Bite. And like you let Phoenix fire and Phoenix lets you filter your hand, particularly on an HQ axis. Like that is actually good for you. The same way they have to watch out with Sabotage and not leave a Spin Doctor on the table. It's really, really weird. Is Botchless Tungsten tied Buzzsaw Echelon Revolver? Yeah, I mean, maybe it is. I think Buzzsaw is probably still quite good. Think you could do Reg Esso Finality running Hot Spice? Yeah, I could see that too. I think, like, mind you, Essa got a lot of tools in the last set. Charm Offensive play was going to be so nasty. Yeah, I think we saw one Charm Offensive after and we're realizing, wait, we should not be discarding our extra cards. And that's like a cool Phoenix angle. It's like you can make Charm Offensive work, but there's still like a lot of pieces that you have to line up pretty quickly. But yeah, losing a BOAC to the Charm Offensive would have been pretty funny. There's no reason to ever let an actual Corp Ice fire, which is now sad. You mean if you play like cautiously enough and get your breakers down? Yeah, I haven't been happy with any Phoenix deck. I have to build decks for tonight. I don't know what to build. It probably won't be Phoenix. I don't know if we are allowed to play more Zwicky because we've been playing Zwicky all day. So probably not the case. Okay, so what have we done? We have played 8 games of Zwicky today. We've done pretty good for ourselves, I think, with it. I will try and post all these links in the description below for sure. But just so that we know what we've learned, I think it's worth recapping every day because we're definitely in an exploration phase. Fast Advance Zwicky is still just like the most fun. Having bad publicity and having stronger ice and then being able to like score the red caps has been really good. This has been fun. Caveat Emptor is probably not worth the slot. There's so many things you can do with influence, but this shell has been good. Plutus has been good. We still haven't today, despite the title of the stream, ever res the Luana Kampush. I think they just did not enable her on JNet and they'll never let us know. We haven't seen a Luana in any of the games we played so far. So that sucks. Then we have the Myoshu Zwicky, which like was straightforward. It was rushy. And it just scored in the remote server. We haven't fired a Myoshu, but I could see it being good and we have the money to make it good. We just also haven't drawn one. Maybe they're just not implemented on JNet. I guess we saw one once or twice, but this seemed fine. This one seemed like the worst because it doesn't have a good win condition besides going faster than the runner. And if you draw poorly, that's not the case. 11 agendas in this deck felt like a lot, but we were able to get them out of our hand pretty quickly. 10 agendas in this was like the speed you want it to be, but 11 agendas in here sucked because it was not the speed you wanted to get them out of your hand. I'm guessing if you want to play Modernism, you probably should be playing 3 Basalts just because it gets you to that sort of scary ability sooner than later. I think you have to figure out how quickly you're getting to threat 4 and then figure out whether you should be playing Oppo or just playing like Public Trail and whether you should be playing Measured Response or not. Yeah, we haven't drawn her. I imagine she's fun. I imagine she's good. Antil has been okay. Do you want anyone to try to play tonight? I only list I can offer is Chain Reaction Essa. Oh, that might be fun. Yeah, Essa sometimes doesn't allow your partner to show off their deck too well. I think that's the issue with Essa. It's like it moves the game away from your deck to like surviving Essa. And that might not make the best television. But I do want to play Chain Reaction. That's for sure. Cool. I can recommend Zwicky. I think it's really, really fun. Funny enough, the stats have suggested that Zwicky is quietly really, really good. And while we haven't, we actually played a lot against like good stuff fake. Maybe that does do something. Essa does not feel like the place for Chain Reaction. Going to lose the marrow and die. I mean, I don't even know if Essa loses the whole hacker space and everyone dies. I do think playing Nurse Han and hacker space is probably a very good Essa list, and it might even open up your console slot, which is cool. That's mostly it for today. Well, no, that's not true. We'll be back tonight. Huge shout out to all the patrons that support the channel so we can take time off from work and do this sort of stuff. Thank you to all these names here and our daily cast patrons. Of course, if you want to support the channel, you can find a link below. You see this spot? We're going to be there tonight, 8:45 first, 7:30. Tune in to Yasangren SC. Jeff is going to be streaming with Safer doing a call-in show, so I think you can call in. But we'll be starting at 8:45. If you have any deck suggestions, hit me up in the YouTube comments. Otherwise, you can find me on Discord. I'm very bad at responding to Discord consistently, so apologies for that. If you want to leave a like on the video, that also helps a heck of a lot. We've been streaming a lot. Tomorrow, and I'll repeat this tonight, will be probably a longer stream, definitely than today, but we might start a bit before noon and then stream, you know, like 6-7 hours, but we'll do it throughout the day. We're trying to be a full-time streamer and see what it feels like and try and make it sustainable, which like that's the dream for sure. Talking to the resident ESA player in the NL Discord, apparently neither Nurse nor Hackerspace is it. Siciriton, I don't want to like do the dunk on that, but I've seen some of the best ESA players in the world and they seem to be really enjoying Nurse Han. It seems so good on the basis that like any sabotage puts 2 cards in archives, then you just run archives, you draw 2 cards. Like every sabotage usually does 2 cards. It seems so good. Thanks for being my background noise. Yo, how was Slay the Spire 2? Check that out. Yeah, it seems great. Like it seems great abstractly, and I've seen great players play it. Players who I really respect their that I know like play ESA really well. So yeah, Nurse is absurd. If your ability says sabotage 2, there has to be 2 face down cards in archives. It has to fire. It seems good. I just didn't think they did. No, I think they definitely do. And then the cool thing about it is if you're playing Nurse, you can play Hackerspace, and if you're playing Hackerspace, you might not need Marrow, right? Because you have another way to give hand size. So you can open up another console, maybe something economic, maybe something disruptive. Like there's a lot to explore in the space, which is really cool. Always watch the Double card reviews before chatting. Double, I know you've published your Anarch ones. I don't want to watch it yet because I want to make sure I do the thing with Jeff first without having my opinions. I'm going to use the word tainted, but with tone flag positive. You know what I mean? That's mostly it. We'll be back at 8:45. See you there.